What's going on, good people? You know what time it is. We had a party line earlier, but the party's got to continue at this point. Raheem Morris has been let go, ladies and gentlemen, according to Adam Schefter. So let's go ahead and get this thing started, man. Don't hesitate. Don't wait. Go ahead and pop in, baby. We got you covered. This is the party line part 2. Let's go. What's going on, y'all? Hey, I guess the new year is going to start off right. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Raheem Morris has been relieved of his duties. If you don't know what that means, the man just got fired. 2 bad seasons down the drain. Hey, it's the party line part 2 at this point. No need to be mad. Let's go ahead and find out what we're going to do. We all talked about what type of coaches we were going to try to find and where they were going to find them at. But you know what? Hey, it is what it is at this point. I'll take it. I'll take it. At this point, I'm in a good place right now. This was needed. This was needed. After you piss away talent and situations that have happened, this is one of the things that is just what it is. You did not value the position you were in. You didn't value that. And the problem with you not valuing the position that you were in, it comes and it goes. You can't sit there. Things are going to be the way that they are at this point when it just wasn't good. You had the division wrapped up not once, but twice. I just dropped the link for you guys. And at this point, I'm just sitting back, just laughing. And I'm not laughing because he got fired. I'm laughing because they're actually trying to do what's right with this team and they don't want to piss anything away. We got a lot of weapons here. A lot of weapons. We're tied for first place in the division. They didn't waste no time. What's going on, Damon? Welcome. Y'all check out We Talk Hawks TV. If you're an Atlanta Hawks fan or just a basketball junkie, this is one of the best. This is my cousin right here, not blood cousin. This is my podcast cousin right here on the other side. But we definitely represent the 2 birds in the city. So shout out to Damon and those boys over there doing the damn thing. Shout out to my brother Tyree Holland doing his thing or whatnot as a producer, doing his thing out there with his podcast and a few other things. But yeah, at this point, when you look at the non-accountability and so many things that have happened, the question is, which direction do they go? Which direction do we go? Do we go in a situation where, hey, you have, and this literally just happened less than 20 minutes ago. Let's just be honest. You got Cliff Kingsbury, who's a great offensive mind. I'll take him as an OC, but not as a head coach. You've got to figure out who you're going to bring, because here's the thing. I don't think the 49ers are going to let Shanahan go, but if they do, you go get him. Then you still got Joe Brady that's still out here. You got to look at that. It's so many ways and so many answers that you can have. But at this point, all you can do is chuckle. What's good, man?
What's up? What's going on, man?
I'm happy as a rat finding cheese in a factory right now. It's over with.
Yeah. I mean, we know it's over. I just want to know what direction we pivot in. That's all.
So I would say this. At this point, when we talk about direction for coaches, as a head coach, you got to try to bring in an offensive-minded head coach that, and you don't touch this defense. Any coach that comes in here, you don't want to mess with it because the defense just set a franchise record with 57 sacks this year. You got the rookie who probably is going to get defensive player of the year with JPJ that's doing his thing. And you're seeing that the defense isn't the problem. It's the offense. And now you got to see what direction you're going to go in right now. And the way that it's looking, I honestly would say if you're not going to go offense, the only defensive coach that I would bring in, would be Brian Flores. He's young enough to relate to these guys. And you got to remember, he built this team. He built that team that's in Miami that's got all those weapons. Let's just be real on that.
I like Brian Flores. Don't get me wrong. I just want to see, what options and things that we have on the table. Like, we had on the table last time. Hopefully, we won't pass up a great gem of a coach in this cycle. But we'll see what happens moving forward.
Now, here's the thing. I wanted to give him a chance. I at least tried to give him a chance. And it was the incompetency that turned me off. He got here. I said, you know what? He's here. We got to ride with him because he got the logo. But when you start pushing fans away, when you don't want to take accountability for the screw ups, you don't want to be as not as stubborn with trying to make things work with the players. That right there told me enough as is. And you don't need to waste the potential of all these players that we've brought in from the first round that are top players in the league. You can't waste this. You can't waste that window with these guys. Not at this point.
Yeah. Like I say, man, you can't waste that window. Like I said, I gave him a fair shot, but we all about the logo, man. And the logo made the decision to move on. Like I say, the man was up on the wall. He just got took down. As soon as he came across my phone, you come off my wall, man, because I'm about the logo and what the logo supports. I just want to see what decision we make moving forward, and just I hope City gets behind whoever this next head coach is. Well, I know you're saying he won't touch the defense, but guys want to bring in their own crew, their own philosophy, their own way they want to do things. So, we'll see what happens moving forward. I believe they're going to get a guy that wants to move on from Obert. I like Obert. I like what he did with the defense, and I like the pass rush that we so desperately needed that we finally found. But it did the same thing with Arthur Smith. When Arthur Smith was here, that he had a top 5 defense, and then they got rid of him. So it's the same thing here. So it's like the defense stepped it up, and then we get rid of the coach. So, I do like our defensive staff now versus what we had before. But I think we need to add more pieces to it, to that defense. I like our front end, but our back end needs some more tweaking and depth. But I do like our front end.
And guess who else just got fired? Terry Fontenot literally just got fired as well.
Oh, man, so that whole picture got to come down. I got to get another pennies up there. So
and here's the thing. And here's the thing, a guy that I would look at this point, since we talking GMs at this point, I'm going to give you a guy. It's not just Louis Riddick, who I would say. There's a guy by the name of, I would look at Charles Davis, who does commentary for games. And a lot of people are like, well, he does. Here's the thing. He does college and pro. And not just that, he understands how to evaluate talent. Charles Davis is a guy that I would look at, and he's definitely well-spoken. You hear him when he calls games, but he also understands how to evaluate and where to find talent. They weren't wasting time. At this point, here's my thing. We got to see what the deal is with Kubiak at this point. Either him or Joe Brady, too, if we're going to go offense. That's my thing. Are you
So I'm trying to figure out. So I haven't seen The Wire. Is there any other head coaches that got fired so far across the league?
Right now, no. But there has been some talk about some guys that could possibly be getting fired. And at this point, I'm not even mad.
I know. I'm just saying. What I'm saying is, I think we're trying to get the early jump on, phone calls to some of these head coaches doing it. They didn't even get to Monday. It was ready to go.
Mike McDaniel, Pete Carroll,
Yeah.
Trying to think who else is available. We said Brian Flores is available too. I don't want nothing to do with Kevin Stefanski. The hell with that. I see what you're doing up there with Shador. No, thank you. I'll pass on that. We need if here's my thing. Like I said,
Who said something about Kevin Stefanski?
no. That
Oh, I'm
was
like,
on the timeline. No, he's one of
I
the
was
coaches.
like,
I'm like, oh no,
oh no, I don't want nothing
nah.
to do with that.
Because here's the sad part. I said, if we go, this is my thing. If they don't go in the offensive direction, you have to go with Brian Flores. I've been saying that. But if you don't go in that way, Joe Brady is an option. That's a new offensive coach who understands how to run an offense. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you another guy, but I don't think he's going anywhere. And that's your boy, that Ken Dorsey, who's the offensive coordinator for the Bills. So when you look at Dorsey's former NFL player, national champ, and he would be a first-time coach. But I'm gonna be honest with you. At this point, I really hope that we can find an offensive-minded coach that has some experience at this point. That's what I would like. But if not, we just have to really look at some different pieces at this point.
Yeah. Like I said, I would like for to have an experienced head coach that has won. We got an experienced head coach, but he wasn't a winner. But can we go get an experienced head coach that was a winner previous to coming to Atlanta? That if we can make that happen, then that'll be great.
I don't know why you saying Mike McCarthy. Why would you want to bring Mike McCarthy here? That
No,
you saw how he was in Dallas. Hell no. But you know what? I will say this about
I
McCarthy.
was gonna say, man. I mean, he did win like 10 wins and 10 wins down there a lot.
But I mean, he was always in the playoffs or he was getting close to it, but he get bounced. But I'll say this: if you
But we can't even sniff the playoffs. Can we get? Can I get that?
Yeah, no, you're right. So here's the thing: if we're gonna sit back and talk about Mike McCarthy, the one thing I can say about him outside of that Super Bowl he has, the man knows how to coach an offense. That I will give you. He just has to get a competent offensive coordinator in the building. That's the only problem because he was trying to do too much in Dallas.
Yeah.
Smart guy. Offensively, smart guy. He just never had a defense that came through for him when he was in Dallas like that consistently. And Dak Prescott let him down a lot. So again, another guy that I would say, but he's going to LSU. Hell, I say give Charlie Weiss Jr. an opportunity as the offensive coordinator. Just saying.
I mean,
we're gonna have to get a new OC. You know that's coming.
Yeah, I've been saying we need to get a guy out of college that can really relate to these players. You know, because a lot of our players are not too far removed from the college game. And he can bring some nice wrinkles to the offense here. I mean, as long as you're an experienced play caller, I think that you'll be successful. I think what he did, he was like a passing game coordinator. He didn't even call plays for the Rams. He wasn't the offensive coordinator though. So, I mean, that's what you got to look at. I mean, he was a top assistant over there, but I mean, he just got pegged to come over here because he was good friends with Raheem. So, I feel like we get an experienced play caller, even if he's from the college ranks. You know, he could at least the first couple of seasons he's here, he could blow some teams' mind with some of that creative things that they do in the college game that probably could maybe work in the NFL game if we present it properly.
I mean, and it also depends on which direction Arthur Blank is going. You know what I'm saying? And at this point, unfortunately, Terry Fontenot didn't survive. And Terry got us out of cap hell. And outside of getting us out of cap hell, Terry is the reason why we got JPJ, why we got Jalen Walker, why we were able to get some great pieces. Now, here's the other thing. Here's the dangerous part about you bringing in a new coach and a new OC. Are they going to get along with these quarterbacks that we have? See, nobody's thinking about that. That's the other thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the next thing with my mind. You know, I'm a big Penix supporter, but you know, a new regime comes in, they're going to want their guy. So I'm really thinking about. They know they're going to probably move on from him, but we'll see what happens.
They might not. I'm gonna be.
No,
honest
they may not. They may not. But what I'm saying, I'm just saying. But just going off of history of not watching the NFL and football for so long, I know how these guys think. But if they can come in and love the guy, but I've seen more times than not. They'll want their guy, the guy they brought into the building. But with him
Mhm.
being, on the younger side, but he's not quite 30 yet. We'll see how the new regime uh, uh, takes
Here
and
it is.
holds to him.
So here's the thing, and I'm gonna use this as an example because yeah, it's old, but it's still relevant because the Steelers didn't change anything. I'm sorry. Go back to the Cleveland Browns. You had a head coach in Paul Brown who wasn't getting along with Jim Brown, the superstar, and many different people. Ended up giving Blanton Collier the job. He didn't move on from. He didn't change anything. Didn't change anything. Now you might get you a head coach in here that might not change anything except for the OC. Now Matt Ryan might end up being the general manager while y'all BSing. Think about that. Read the tea leaf. Ryan's getting the front office job. He might get groomed to be a general manager if we don't go get one. Pay attention to that.
I mean, they could just slide him in that role because you gotta think. What's his name? When he first got that job with San Fran, he had no damn business being no head front office guy.
Yep.
John Lynch. Yeah, but he's one of the best in the league. Sometimes you just gotta take a risk with a guy and go with it, man. He was coming from TV, if I'm not mistaken, and
Yep. I
now
ain't
he's
taking
one of
no
the now
risks.
he's one of the better front office people in the league, man. John Lynch.
But
So we'll see
but
what happens.
Lynch understood differently because you got to remember not just what he did television, not just what he did with television. He came from a culture that they turned around to win.
No, I
That's the
mean,
difference.
I know his background. I watched his whole career. What I'm
Okay.
saying is the fact that when he got that job, when he got that job, he had no business, being in that position, like you were saying. And they thrusted him into that
Agreed.
position, and then he took off. I'm saying that could happen easily for Matt Ryan because a quarterback is very astute and smart person. So we don't know how Matt Ryan may see the game and what he's been studying in that TV studio at CBS. So I don't know, man. I mean, we'll see what direction we move in. I think
Um,
that'll win. I think that'll win all the Matt Ryan lovers over if he gets that position, and we'll see what goes on from there, man. Like I said, I'm for the logo. Whatever move they make, they made the move to get rid of both of them. I thought they may keep Fontenot maybe one more year, but hey, they both of them gone, and start to turn the page in the Falcons organization and regime, and see what we pivot to next.
Cam, what's good, man?
What's
Hey,
up, Cam?
this is
Coach.
what. Hey, Cam, you about like me right about now. Just say, hey, we starting over. How they say, how I got over. How they said in the old church back in the day.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, here's the crazy part. Depending on who's going to be in this franchise next, all I'm gonna say is this: Kirk Cousins might not be here. He might be getting the axe, and he might be getting traded elsewhere.
Man, hey, look. I mean,
Hey,
visual eyes on Kirk. Get him up out of here, man. That man got no zip, no. Boy, it take
yeah.
the ball forever to get to the damn receiver. I'm like, no, man.
Okay,
We cannot keep
okay.
this.
Now just think about it. Now
I
remember
don't
when
know
I
what it
told
looked like on TV, but when I was
no,
looking at it
yeah,
live, I'm like,
it
oh
looked
my
totally.
God.
Look, I'm with you on that because that ball looked totally different coming out of his hand in person than it did when you talk about being on TV. Because I saw that at the Jets game,
I
and
wish that
I was
man
just
wife would
like,
just wish his wife would just speak to him and say, man, look, Kurt, go ahead and hang it up. Retire. You look terrible out there.
but you know what though? I think if he got to be away from the game for a bit, but eventually, I can
Oh,
see him being.
foot sale back.
I can see. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can see him being.
What?
I'm just gonna be honest. I can see him being an OC one day because when you look at it, he's very cerebral. It's just the tools just ain't there right now. It's just what it is. The mind is there, but that body ain't there. But Cam, how do you feel about this? We've talked enough. I want to hear a different perspective on this from
Yeah.
you because I see you're very jovial right about
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
sir.
I mean, but everybody been calling for it, so it happens.
No, I'm gonna keep it short. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. It's a win lose situation. Honestly, it's a win lose situation. The reason why I say it's a win lose is because you had a GM that came in to almost a death sentence with the cap, brought us back from that, had an amazing draft this past season and the season before that. And the thing is, like, I've never wanted the Raheem hire anyway because he had a terrible record when he first came in. So, and I also don't put all of it on him because at the time we all know that Tampa was a terrible front office back then anyway. They didn't really give him any assistance to get better or to even grow in his position. So I don't really. But looking at the time that he was with us when he was the interim, and then having the full time of the mistakes that he just made, some of those things are egregious. Especially if you played the game or you coached on any level, you can see where the mistakes should be fixed, and they just aren't. So, unfortunately, I respect Raheem for doing what he did and standing up and trying to be the best coach he was. I just feel like the position was too big for him. I feel like this was too big of a stage for him and his talents. I feel like there are some people who are better off just being who they are, whether that's a position coach or a coordinator. Because if you look at Josh McDaniels, everywhere he's went as a head coach, he's been horrible. But as an offensive coordinator, he's one of the best in the league. So some people are just made to either be a position coach, some people are made to just be a coordinator, and some people are built to run the whole show. Unfortunately, Raheem doesn't seem to be that guy, and I wish him the best moving forward.
And speaking of that, we got a rarity up in here. We got the Black Wall Street Journal, our guy. It's been a minute since he's been up in here. Last time we had him in here, he was on Bumper to Bumper with your boy. Hey, Scoop, what's happening?
What's up? No, that's not Quavo over there, baby. That's a shot of Quavo now, baby.
What you guys say, brother? Huh?
Hey, man. Good evening. Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Hey, just like we was going in on the chat with Coach, man. This ain't no easy job to replace, man.
It's not, man. Y'all had a good conversation, man. I'm serious because it's one thing to call for somebody a job. It's another thing to know who you're gonna come in behind it with, because those PSLs, man, are on the line right now. You gotta be able to bring somebody that's gonna have us tuned up and ready to come back into the bins, man.
Yeah, and I think that people are heavy criticizing Arthur Blank, but you gotta be able to switch sides. Like if you was a billionaire, you had your NFL team, the pressure on, especially because I'm getting older. I want to see a team win, and I don't think that Blank came into the fold in Atlanta to think that he couldn't win here. So to pass the buck to somebody else, like that's kind of unrealistic. But at the same time, like I think that he doing what he can to try to get somebody in here. It's just not easy. It's just similar to that. In this city right here, like it ain't the same to compare to like a Green Bay, where you got the town that say those shoes. We ain't finna let no billionaire come in our city to move our team to somewhere else. So we gonna rally around our team. So they'll shut the whole city down for that. But in this city right here, the Falcon game can go on at 1 o'clock, but it's a party going on somewhere else in the city. So it's a difficult job to try to figure out, and we see it with all sports teams, man. The Braves be going through it, the Hawks is going through it now. Like we got stars, we got talent on this team. That's not nothing to debate about. It's the fact that you got to be able to manage this, and this city, man, it's difficult. It's gonna be hard.
I got somebody for you. Y'all ask for a name or whatnot. If you want to bring in a new idea for a coach, go after the Jacksonville Jaguars offensive coordinator, Grant Udaneski. And if you don't know anything about him, he's a Philly guy out of Bucks County. He pretty much started off as a grad assistant with Baylor, worked with the Panthers for 2 years, 2021, was with Minnesota, and then has been literally an assistant offensive coordinator, an assistant quarterbacks coach, and now the offensive coordinator to one of the most potent offenses in the league at this point. As soon as I started talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars OC, damn Coach McGriff popped up. Yeah, I'm talking about poaching your OC. You're damn right.
What's going on, Coach?
What's up, Coach?
What's going on, Coach McGriff?
Yep.
Hey, y'all got Liam Cohen, who's a great coach who understands how to evaluate talent. Let us get that OC up out you, off of you.
Hey,
Get your ring, coach. Get your ring this year, and then give us your OC. We'll take him.
man, let me tell y'all something.
Man,
You can't have the OC or the DC. Sorry.
We
Sorry.
DC, we just
we
want
know,
the
We finally got it right. No,
you know somebody gonna strip y'all or something. It may not be the Falcons, but
exactly.
somebody gonna strip y'all or something. That's how it goes. Teams that win and get stripped.
no.
You know that.
Boy, Coach McGriff done went through a lot of dark days already. He said, "Listen, I'm trying to enjoy this for a minute."
One
Listen.
of them gonna take the cheese. One of them.
Hey, we
one
just
of
want the
them.
OC.
One of the
Y'all can
coordinators gonna
have
take the
defense.
cheese.
We just want the
Yep.
OC.
And look, this is what this T-Law third head coach and third offensive coordinator in 5 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wasn't that Matt Ryan? Like his first couple years in the league, we was
Every 2
recycling
years.
OCs.
He's had
Every
4
2
He
years.
offensive
was
coordinators.
recycling, but so he was recycling on OCs. But shoot, T-Law, this his third head coach in 5 years.
Yeah.
Urban Meyer.
That
What's your
mean he
boy's
know.
name?
That mean he know a lot of offenses.
Yeah. Trying to think. So it was
Guys are
Urban
right.
Meyer.
Here's
What's your boy's
the
name?
thing.
That was in Philly?
Doug Peterson.
Here's the thing.
Doug Peterson, and now you got Liam Cohen.
Yeah.
And we almost didn't have him if we wouldn't have fired the general manager.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
story
there
was
some backdoor stuff going on with that.
well, I mean, the one good thing about the general manager that he did, he did know how to pick. He knew how to pick players because most of the guys that are on the roster are from the last regime, and they're now coming into their own. The problem was the coaching staff that were being picked were guys were like y'all saying you don't want to deal with these retreads. Were guys who were basically 1 foot out the door outside of whatever his name. That's the old Ohio State coach. I can't even remember his name. We trying to forget him. Trevor first year.
Urban
The
Meyer.
rest of them were
yeah,
not
Urban.
really
Wait a
committed.
minute. No, I ain't gonna let you do that. Because last time I checked, he won you a champ. He won you 2 championships at University of Florida. I ain't sure he ain't
That's
getting off
college.
like that. Yeah.
That's college. That's
You tried
college.
to
He
throw
nearly
Ohio-
ruined
wait a
that
minute.
boy.
You tried to throw the Ohio State little jab in there like we ain't gonna forget that he beat us when he was at Florida. Oh no. Oh no.
Hey, we had the best team money could buy and the most convicts money could put in jail.
Oh man.
Hey
But
man.
this, like I was telling you before, Ron, when we was having our conversation. The one thing about this group is we have what they call they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit where you came from, how
Hey,
much
coach.
you get paid. The best players who perform in practice play in the game. They have a thing down here is you practice to see the grass and get a jersey. They don't care where you came from. If you play good, you practice good, we're gonna play you and we're going to give you a chance to start. Look at all the guys that's on this roster that nobody ever heard of. We just got a guy who was a journeyman, played all 4 positions on the line. They just paid him. We brought a guy that the Raiders didn't want. He came and performed. They paid him right away. They're going to do right by these guys, and everybody here has a fair opportunity. But it's also mean they will get rid of you if you don't perform. If you don't perform, they will give you a chance to get it right. If not, they will get rid of you. Trevor knew that too, because Trevor's like, man, there was a rumor that hey, if you couldn't get it together and learn this offense, we're gonna find somebody else. Look at him now, because they teach these guys and they hold them accountable. How much you make, none of that matters here. And if everybody else in the league would do like that, the teams would get better. That's why we loving this guy. Everybody in the organization loves each other right now. Obviously, it's because they winning. But even before that, when they were struggling, there was no issues. If you're not one of their guys because you want to do the best for the team, they're gonna get rid of you. And there's other guys around the league that are out there available. Just don't take none of ours. The kid that I like, the coordinator at Minnesota. He's a good guy. Yeah, you also look some of them guys at the staff of Seattle Seahawks now. They all come out of that same tree.
So here's the scary part. Now you did slip and say the S word on here. We can't use that word. We use damn, hell, ass. We can use that, but put it this way: the cuss words you can use is pretty much what you can use on television. But that you can't use that word. I know look. I know the coaching you was coming out. That's why I didn't stop you. I knew it was coming out.
I apologize.
Hey, Quavo, Cam. Trust me, the colorful language that I had to deal with this man right here was nice. Trust me, he's been in my face before, and it's much worse.
I understand.
I just talked to me. What up, Ant?
Hey, look, Ant had his rent early. He got his wish now.
Ant normally be going to bed at this time, or he's sitting there pissed off in the damn chat somewhere. Ant, what's up, man? You smiling
on Facebook? He was ready, boy. He was like, he got his wish.
First of all, man, listen, bro. Like, I'm not here celebrating nobody getting fired because, listen, people get fired every day. It is what it is. Hold on. I'm glad that Arthur Blank did not get blinded by these last 4 games. And I thought it was going to be the case.
No, he's going to see these 4 games and say, that sports firm went blinded. That's who went blinded.
Yeah. Oh, we fine. He in it 4 games. I'm surprised it happened, but I'm happy. I'm happy because, listen, Arthur Blank, I gained a lot more respect for Arthur Blank than I did an hour ago because I didn't think he'd do this. Because we saw this coming. We saw this, okay, they're going to run it back with the same BS. Arthur Blank had to be in that stadium today and say, you know what? I'm seriously about to lose the division with an 8-9 record, all 3 of us. And the team that swept us, we helped them get in the playoffs.
Get to the playoffs.
It makes it worse.
It makes sense.
You got a defense that was ranked number 1 for half of the season. They was ranked number 1. You set the franchise sack record. Your rookie is literally going to probably end up being defensive player of the year with 10.5 sacks. And then your other first round pick, Jalen Walker, at 5.5, almost 6 sacks this year. He just got to get in the weight room and get a little bit stronger. And then you got your 2 safeties. Xavier Watts tied Prime's record for most interceptions from a rookie in a season this year. And unfortunately, Billy Bowman tore his Achilles, but before that, he was the leading tackler on this defense before he went down.
He looking like a Tyrann Matthew clone or something.
Didn't Jesse Bates has a pick 6 in the last 3 years? At least 1 pick 6 per season in the last 3 or 4 years? I saw that on television.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Don't forget we had Brandon Doyle too.
And
8.5 sacks for Brandon Doyle.
Doyle's gonna be a problem, man.
Then you got Ruka Roro that's finally playing in the proper position. He's not a 0 tech. He's playing 3 technique and he's killing it. That's where Grady Jarrett should have been. This draft is coming up. You got to get a defensive tackle. Been saying this for the longest. You got to get one.
You got to find a legitimate 0 tech for sure.
Not just any defensive tackle. You need somebody that's gonna command a double team.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, fellas. Hey, man.
What you got?
He did what he had to do, and like I said, I gained a lot more respect for Arthur Blank. I don't think Richard K had anything to do with this decision. I think it was only Arthur Blank alone, and I think Matt Ryan will be in this organization this week. I think this was getting out the way to bring whoever coach they want to bring in, whatever GM they want to bring in, and Matt Ryan will be in this organization. And I'm happy, man, because they're tired of the mediocrity. The fan base is tired of. By the way, it's New York Jets first, the playoff drought. Guess it's number 2 now. We're the longest playoff drought in the league. 8 years.
Will. Hey, Guess what popped up in
Thanks, Will. Yes, sir. God answer my prayers. He never failed.
I got the pink slip out today.
Hold on, Will. I got you. Here you go. I got to give Will a little something. Just.
Yes, sir. All I got to say, I heard the Lord, and he heard, and he answered. That's why I serve him. That's why I serve him. Hey, what's up, y'all? Hey, man, I'm glad that Joker is gone, boy. I was praying to God. I'm like, God, please let's have a breaking news. Raheem was fine. As soon as I got from work, boom, Raheem Morris, Terry Fontenot, they out of there.
Oh, we didn't have to wait till Monday for that though. That's the funny part. We all
They
thought we
try,
was gonna have to
I'm
wait till
telling you, they
Black
trying.
Monday.
They
Hey, they did
already on
this.
the phone. They already on the phone talking
Yeah,
to the coaches, man. I'm
yeah,
telling you, man, that's what they trying to get that jump for the
Think
other
about it
coaches
too,
get fired.
fellas. You had Carolina Panther fans in
In
the
our
bins
game,
today
they was in
celebrating,
our game.
celebrating. Panther fans
but yeah, but
celebrating in our stadium.
I
But
was
But
they
you
like,
was
know
Arthur
what
at
Blank
the
didn't
though?
see that.
stadium. That's
they
what's
bought tickets
disrespectful.
to come here to see us to see make sure we win. I'm like, this
Hey,
is some
but
bogus
but
crap here.
no, you can say ass. I told you, you
Okay,
can say ass, damn, and hell.
I'm just trying to catch myself. So I don't slip up.
Listen,
Keep it
the
clean,
cuss,
K
listen,
Dub.
the
Keep it
cuss
clean,
words you
K
hear on
Dub.
the radio and
I know the
TV, you
cuss
can
word,
say.
but I'm trying to just catch myself. The no cuss word. I'm trying.
Hey man,
Hey, so here's the question I got for you. Now, I mentioned Brian Flores earlier. Let me mute this, Will, because you got feedback. You're on that Bluetooth. I'll unmute it in a sec. Brian Flores is a guy. I know we all say offensive. We don't go in the offensive direction. If you bring Brian Flores in, what type of impact do you think he can have? Because he's still young enough to relate to these players, but he's still old enough to get their attention and get them to play tough because he does have a hard nosed mentality that he was raised under with Mike Tomlin and those guys. What do you think he could bring to the table in Atlanta with what we have already? If we were to look at this brother,
So the for those who were campaigning for Belichick to
Oh,
be
shit.
our head coach, he come from that same tree. And Flores is still old school. So it might be an unpopular opinion for most, but if we can get the personnel to stop the run, we have the team that's a playoff team, and it'll be a perfect formula for him because all he gonna do is come in, he gonna enhance the defense, and then you got Bijan, you gonna run the ball. So it's a simple formula for me, from my eyes, from my point of view. But I had to hear from all y'all.
All right, look here, school. I'm gonna need you to start coming on more because you're saying everything that I've been saying all season. We're able to stop the run. We have a playoff team here already. The thing is, how do we or who do we bring in that can actually fit that mindset of building that defense to have that mentality of stop the run and letting your other guys do what they do. That's the biggest concern where I have. So that's why I was saying if you bring in a Lovey Smith, if you look at his career as far as the run goes, he has one of the better differentials against the run versus pass as a coach. So that's the biggest lack that we have on the defense is we get gashed way too often in the run game.
so here's the thing. I'm gonna let you guys chop it up real quick with this here. I got to take care of something real quick. But man, I just like I said with Flores in that sense, you got to just look at it from a standpoint of what he would bring to the table. Yes, you got to look at the offensive coordinator he would bring in. But if you don't go the Flores route, you got to get one of them Kubiak boys. That's who you
I,
go get. You got to get
I
one of them
got I
Kubiak
got
boys.
I have a scenario that you guys might be interested in. The rumor is the loser of tonight's game might want to leave, not get fired. Would you even be okay with offering a first round pick or a second round pick to Mike Tomlin for the Pittsburgh to get like somebody like a Mike Tomlin to come in there with a new regime, somebody to steady the ship while they fire the GM, and then have him bring in somebody that he trusts. The one thing about that man is he's going to provide leadership. You and you know you ain't going to lose no because he don't never lose. So you won't have to worry about being 8-9 ever again. What everybody think about that?
I I don't have a problem with Mike Tomlin. It depends on the OC for me. That's just it.
Yeah, yeah, it do depend on OC, but I do like Mike Tomlin.
I don't have a problem with it.
I think what I like about him most is his leadership that he does. They've had some up and down. Obviously, when he's had Roethlisberger or a pretty good quarterback, they've always been
I ain't got
one
no
of the
money for you, but I got some donuts. You want some donuts?
elite team.
All right,
And
man.
for him
All
for
right.
him to win
Good.
without an elite quarterback and they still win, that's what I find amazing because when you don't have an elite quarterback in this league, it's hard to win. And most teams always end up being losing, guys getting fired. He's always find a way to work with whatever he had. They thought Aaron Rodgers was going to be the answer, but obviously they didn't put enough talent around him. But I think he's a good one, and
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
open to
tired
somebody else
talking.
to suggest.
Hey, Will, put your thing on mute real quick.
Muted
Oh, oh,
Will.
oh, my bad, y'all. I'm sorry, man. But nah, but what I'm gonna say, man. We just need somebody just not a nonsense head coach to get this team play this team prepare week in week out, and we have to game plan what's our weaknesses and what's our strength, and we gotta have an identity on offense. Some games we gotta take the pressure off of Bijan Robinson and use Drake London or Kyle Pitts or keep Kyle Pitts. We don't know, but moving forward, we do need to address some of things in the trenches. I'm getting a left tackle, so not replace Jake Matthews, but just add depth. And free agency, I just try to get a veteran defensive tackle or a center because we still need another centerpiece to call the offense. Because I don't think Ryan Nelson part that guy moving forward, in my opinion. So we need to address a couple of things in the trenches and just probably get another corner. And that's part about it. But everything else, this team is ready to try to compete for a title. Get the right coach.
It's interesting that you said something about Kyle Pitts. What does the rest of the group think about Kyle Pitts? Is the way he played at the end of the season, is it something you think he should keep around, or you think that was just a good luck? Are you ready to wave goodbye to him and find something else?
I mean, it depends if he asks for a 20 million contract, then he could go to Kansas or something. Because I think Kansas might get him. But overall, I keep Tyler. I want to keep him, but we don't know.
Coach McGriff, I'll
Hey,
say
coach,
this.
I'm gonna tell you now. It's more than likely he'll get tagged.
I was
Yeah.
just about to say,
I
if
think that's what
anything,
I was just gonna say that. I think he gets tagged, and then we can get a year to keep, saying to see if to get to think about it, basically. Another year to think about,
if
do we really want to give him a long term deal?
if anything, if you look at the number this year, I think it's 13 mil for tight ends as far as the franchise tag goes. So I mean, it's still it's for me personally, it's still too much for Kyle Pitts. Um, but honestly, the growth and maturity that I've seen this man have this season, um, and his ability to actually take on blocks is amazing to see because that was one of my biggest gripes with him. So if we're looking at it, I would like to see Kyle Pitts return. But again, who are we bringing as an OC where we can actually put him in positions to actually have mismatches and actually do what we brought him in here for? I think that's one of the biggest keys. That's for me. As much as I dislike Kyle Pitts because of the things that he does personally, we haven't had an OC to really feature him in certain packages and make it about him. He's not being put in a position to succeed, and that's the thing that I really think we failed Kyle Pitts at times because a lot of he's bigger than most corners and he's too fast for most linebackers, and we haven't used either one or the other on a consistent basis. So how do we help Kyle Pitts become, I guess, the model of what you would have a Travis Kelsey or a George Kittle? Because that's what they say he's supposed to be the next one. So what does the OC and what do we do to put him in that position to take that next step? Because I've seen some steps this season, but if we keep him, what are we going to do next season for him to take that all pro leap?
So I think it's this. Like, I mean, again, man, it's a lot of decisions to be made next year, and that OC role, um, with you letting Raheem go, it ain't too many OCs that are good. That's OCs now that's gonna come and make a lateral move to the Atlanta Falcons, regardless of the talent that we got on the team. And I'm gonna tell you now too, the fact that, just be honest, the quarterback position is a question mark.
Mm-hmm.
They're just being real because we still don't know what we got in Penix right now, and he's hurt. He might not be ready for the season. Well, he ain't no might not. He won't be ready for the season start. And you know that Kurt got to go. So that's gonna be another factor into it. Now I'm gonna give you a name, and I don't think he'll come here as an OC, but Joe Brady.
Yeah, I think that's the second time. That's the second time that name that came up. I believe I like that guy, man. What he did with LSU. I know it's college, but I just like his innovativeness, and he may do need a shot. Like I say, some of these guys. I think Seattle's coach is the first time head coach. It's the first time head coach is ever successful. So let's see, man. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to going that direction. Also, offensive minded coach. Well, then we got to see who he brings in as a DC. So it's kind of it flips back and forth. I like him on the offensive side of football, but does he keep Ulbrich and something like that? I don't know what he wants to do if they do bring in the Joe Brady. You know what I'm saying?
So, I am still stuck on, and I'm gonna keep repeating it. I don't want nobody that was here in this building during that 2016 Super Bowl run. I don't care who it is. I don't care with the LaFleurs, the Shanahan, Raheem, Brick, everybody that was associated with that 2016 run, Jake Matthews. Like everybody,
this need to be Jake Matthews last season.
That bad juju, it got to go. It got to leave the building. We got to get that clean sweep. Got to get it out of here.
Well, Scoop, here's the thing: you getting ready to be pissed because, according to Jordan Schultz, Matt Ryan is strongly being considered for a high-profile front office role with the Falcons, in a similar role to what Chris Spielman has with Chris Spielman. And if you don't know who Chris Spielman was, he was a hell of a middle linebacker and one of the best to ever do it. That just played for bad teams. So, unfortunately, you are going to have a piece of that stench from 2016. And it's really not a piece. It's the biggest piece of it because guess what? That's your former MVP that's going to be in that front office. So,
well, I hope that we record on StreamYard because I'm standing on business on what I just said. And, I'm a Matt Ryan fan, man. I love Matt Ryan. But it is what it is. Like, it's something about that run. And then, really the proof is in the pudding right now because you see what's going on in Washington with Dan Quinn.
Yep.
You see what's going on in San Francisco, even though San Francisco winning, like the bad juju is still there because some of their best players is getting hurt. But Shanahan told you who he was because when they went against Kansas City, he was supposed to be running the ball. He passed the ball and they lose the Super Bowl.
But it's not just that. Then that's what I was gonna say. You lost 2 Super Bowls in the same fashion. Hey, Will, when you pop back up on the screen, man, we'll bring you back in. Appreciate you, Super Twist. Thank you. We definitely try. But man, when you look at it like this here, let's be honest. You piss away 2 Super Bowls that you had in the bag. You had them in the bag, and you just pissed them away. Patrick Mahomes doesn't get that first Super Bowl if you just run the ball.
Ryan, I'm gonna tell you something else. As good as a regular season coach as LaFleur is, look at his division now. Everybody done caught up with him. Chicago
and Detroit
in the playoffs. And Minnesota, really, you get healthy in Minnesota, they can make the playoffs too.
And they're
looking just like the NFC West right now.
Let's be real. And their football coach that they have, that's the head coach for Minnesota right now. I'm gonna give y'all this, the example that I got for you. For my old heads that's out here football wise, that young coach that's in Minnesota is a young Bud Grant. For those who don't know who Bud Grant is, y'all need to go ahead and do your research on him because the man went to 4 Super Bowls. Unfortunately, he couldn't win it, but he owned that NFC Central Division in the 60s. I'm sorry, in the late 60s, early 70s after Vince Lombardi left. He owned it. And when you look at the type of talent that he's put out there and players, from everybody knows him as Ahmad Rashad from inside the NBA back in the day. Ahmad Rashad was one of his starting wide receivers. You had a Fran Tarkenton. You had a Jim Marshall. You had Mr. Paul Krause, who is still the all-time interception leader in interceptions with 82 or 83? And that record still has not been broken. So again, when you look at that dude is building that team just like the old Vikings were back in the day. Tough in the front, got a solid secondary, and they have an explosive offense. You got a back that can do it all, a quarterback that's learning the game, and he's actually molding them. Minnesota's going to be dangerous. So just like you said, everybody's caught up with Detroit now in that division. Now Atlanta has to figure out how we're going to get caught up with the Saints. No, I'm sorry, not with the Saints, with the Bucks and with the Panthers, because the Panthers have figured it out. They figured it out. Now
I mean, we all had the same record though, so I don't know how much they figured out.
Well, put it this way. The Panthers are the most dangerous team because of the fact that they literally did their homework in the draft and they got hot at the right time, and they have built around their quarterback. Because when Bryce Young first got to the league, he struggled because he was getting touched. And now that he's not getting touched, you see he's dicing everybody up, whether they win or lose. So again, we still got to figure out our offensive line depth, our linebacker depth, and our D-line depth. Those are three things
I think those are the main things that got Fontenot fired. Is he made some good picks, he brought good quality players, you're picking high in the draft, but you didn't build any depth. You said depth like 4 times. So I'm like, that's the main reason he got you fired, Terry Fontenot. I mean, that's what I see.
And here's the thing.
Here's my thing with this. One of the things I see, they made the mistake with the quarterback, Fontenot and all of them. But first of all, especially when I watched that thing on quarterbacks, season 2, not having Matt Ryan prepared and letting him, get him digest with the offense, and then the drafting of Penix, and then Penix supposed to be the guy in waiting, but yet you rushed him because of everybody like pressure. But I'm watching the guy that wasn't even ready because he's messing up in practice, but yet y'all put him out there in the game knowing there's going to be things that he's not ready for. That's the coach. That's on the coach. The coach's job is to put your players in the best positions to succeed. And you got this guy, and he don't know how to do the doggone motions and stuff yet, but yet you still got him out there on the field because you ain't had no choice, because you decided to get 2 guys ready instead of having 1 guy ready. The old saying, if you got 2 quarterbacks, that means you don't have 1. So when you got a veteran guy and he don't understand the offense, and you gonna put him out there when he's not ready, because you looking like you wanting him to fail so you can put the other guy out there. So it kind of messed it up. Same way with Minnesota. You had a guy that got you 14 wins last year, but you're gonna let him walk out the door, and look what he's doing with Seattle. And then his backup was leading the Colts. When you make a mistake with the quarterback, you set your organization back 2 to 3 years. Now you still got this guy. So now you're going to bring in a new guy that's going to have whoever they come in to play quarterback, going to have to learn a whole new offense. So hopefully you'll get somebody that you get some input on your quarterbacks. That's something that they're going to be comfortable with going forward, because if not, you'll be in the same position this year when it's your window right now to win the division, because the Bucks getting old and the other teams are really too young to really take advantage of the Falcons, unless the Falcons let them take advantage of it.
I got something for you, Coach.
Look, hold on, Ryan. Now everything that Coach just said, I got a phrase for you that sums it all up. Coaching matters.
Yep. And here's the thing. Coaching matters, and you're absolutely right. But here's the other thing that you got to think about. You're bringing in a whole new coach. That's getting ready to happen. You're going to bring in a whole new general manager. So we already know Kirk might not be here, to be honest. We already know that might happen. But here's the other thing that me and K-Dub spoke on earlier. Penix ain't guaranteed a job with this new coach. He might not be. And think about it. He's coming off injury. Yes, he's a first-round draft pick, but we've seen first-round draft picks get shipped out. And that's the other thing that's dangerous at this point right now, because it didn't help that he went down with that knee injury at all.
So historically, any new coach, especially if you pick an offensive-minded head coach, always wants to have his own quarterback.
Yep. And think about it. And Penix is coming off of a knee injury, so we don't know when he's going to come back. He's still on a rookie contract. And all I'm saying is this. And I told a lot of folks that the most dangerous thing right now was the fact that they did not fix that O-line, and the worst thing could possibly happen happened. said this during training camp when McGarry went down. I said, y'all didn't even try to address going to spend money to go get somebody. And everyone's like, oh, well, we gonna hold on to this money. No, you don't hold on to that money like that. And you know that this kid is starting and you did not help him out. You literally left him to dry. So now his football future is in limbo depending on what coach you get in here. Now, you might get a coach who would want to take a chance on him. You never know. You never know. Everything happens for a reason. But as historically we know, there are going to be coaches that's going to want their own player. And Kyle Pitts ain't safe here now neither, by the way.
Hey, Ryan, what's funny about that, I just made that statement. Look, with the exception of Arthur Smith.
But school. Now I want y'all to think about this. Now Bijan is staying. Drake will probably be here. But when we talk about the positions that I just said, Pitts is coming up for contract. Now that Terry is gone, the man who drafted him, you bring somebody else in, he might be up out of here.
But see, you stepped away, Ryan. We had already talked about 8 Ball. 8 Ball might get changed.
I'm sorry, I did step away for a second, but I'm being real with you on that. If I'm a general manager walking into a situation and I'm looking at the production and I see potential, okay, but you balled out on pay year. What happened last year? What happened the year before? And we understand that quarterback changes happen. I get it. But at the same time, you got other tight ends that have been dealing with quarterback changes that's been balling. From Harold Fannin up in Cleveland, Brock Bowers in Las Vegas. I mean, and those are two top guys that were drafted very high, just like Pitts. Not in the 4th round, but they were first rounders. So again, when you talk about guys that were supposed to put on or whatnot, that right there is killing that narrative at this point of the quarterback play. It's still a factor, but outside of what us Falcon fans say, most people in the NFL are saying, okay, well, guess what? Other guys perform. Your guy's not performing. It's just what it is. He had a good year this year. Definitely performed when he was used, but are you going to have a coach that's going to want to deal with him? That, you might have a coach that wants his tight end to block and do everything else. Just saying. It's a lot that's getting ready to happen. So it's going to be players that are going to be shipped out of here when this new regime come up in here. Just get ready for it.
And I think universally, I think all of us, when we had the discussion, I think it's really more so going to be, it's 2 factors at play here. What's the number for a franchise tag? That's going to be probably the biggest factor.
Yeah.
But secondly, who is the OC that they're going to bring in that's going to actually help him move to that next level? Because again, historically, over the 5 years that he's been, the 4 years that he played with us, excluding the injury year, what have we done to really put Kyle Pitts in a position to succeed? Let's just be honest about it. Quarterback play has been terrible. It was terrible. Outside of the 1 year with Matt Ryan, where he was force-fed the ball, if we're going to be honest about it, when has he had a legitimate quarterback that could actually put the ball on him when he was open or he created space?
Or when he was getting the ball put on him, he was dropping it early in his career. So it wasn't always because when he was with Arthur Smith,
what I said earlier.
I was going to say, he was targeted big time.
So it's again, this year, there was a huge leap in what I saw from Kyle Pitts. And everyone knows I'm probably the number 1 Kyle Pitts hater. Everyone knows this, but I'm being honest. If we gonna keep it a buck, this is probably the most productive year that Kyle Pitts has had. On all facets of the game, whether it's blocking.
All I know is he was open all day long today. I'm like, you could have threw the Kyle Pitts on every play. That man was so wide open all day today.
Boy, when I tell you this thing is getting ready to be murky as hell at this point. All I'm saying is this, as we looking at coaches, we looking at players, and here's that. We traded away our number 1 pick, but it worked out because we got a pass rush. Now, here's the question. Depending on who the coach is, who's going to mortgage the farm? Because again, as we said before, depending on what coach decides to come here, they might end up trying to trade away some stuff in the future to get a quarterback here. I know it sounds crazy, but it's a possibility at this point because we don't
But
have the
this
old
is really
regime
not
in
a
here.
quarterback draft. I mean, unless you hire Mendoza. I don't know. I mean, I don't
That's
really
what I'm
like this
saying.
quarterback.
You
I don't really
still
like this draft.
that's
That's what
highly
exactly
unlikely.
what I was gonna say. If you outside of Mendoza, there is nobody that you really
That's what I'm
want
saying.
to
I'm like,
mortgage the farm for in this draft.
No, I wouldn't mortgage the farm, but you know how. But look at it. You already know how new coaches go, Coach McGruff. They want to get in. They want to make an immediate impact, in a sense, and they're going to try to turn the team around in their way. But here's the thing. Unfortunately, Trinidad Chambliss ain't coming out this year. That's the
yeah,
unfortunate thing. He applied for another year. Now, I'm going to be 100 with you on this. A man that won 2 national championships on the D2 level literally just knocked off the SEC champs in the SEC in the Sugar Bowl and only lost 1 game as a true starter. Took over and balled out in a conference that he had never played in before and made it look like a playground that is known for producing exquisite talent when it comes to the NFL, when you're talking about the SEC. So now I'm
I
just
mean,
looking at it.
he just
Mhm.
reminded me of like I said, I wish he was coming out so we could at least be an option. But he's coming back for another year. But he reminded me of like just a young Russell Wilson when I seen him
Uh-oh.
playing. But that's just what I thought.
That's appreciated.
I'm gonna tell you guys who, if I had the dream list for this team, because everybody know I have love for Atlanta.
Yep.
If it was up to me and I would like to sit down and have a conversation, I would love to bring Brian Flores as the head coach and then him bring somebody like Brian Dayball in as the offensive coordinator. It will kind of
Oh
work out like
Lord.
the McDermott situation with Buffalo, how good he was working with McDermott, which got him the job with the Giants. Brian Dayball is a very innovative guy. Look at all his history. He's worked with not just Josh Allen, but other different guys and he
Yeah,
worked his way up. I think he would be a great coordinator because he knows how to use different talent. And remember, he ain't really never have the type of talent that he would walk into in Atlanta. I could just imagine what the kind of stink team that he would do with that talent that he had in Atlanta. Somebody like Brian Dayball as the coordinator.
Would you here's the question. Now, I know you mentioned Brian Dayball in that sense,
Mhm.
but if you could, would y'all ever think about hiring Charlie Weiss Jr. as the OC? Would you bring him in? It's an option. Because K
I
Dub
mean,
mentioned
that might be a good
earlier.
conversation because right now they're looking pretty ugly with the LSU situation in Ole Miss because they're trying to say that they don't want to let them coach this week's game. And I don't know if I haven't been watching to find out what's been going on with that, but I know Kiffin was trying to make them make a decision about either
yeah.
stay there or come now to LSU. Since we
Bel-
1 week was good, but now y'all need to go.
Belichick ain't leaving North
No, man,
Carolina. He just
Yeah,
Belichick,
got
yeah,
a
he
Belichick.
having
he
some
ain't leaving.
issues,
That
man.
man staying right there in North Carolina. When we
Yeah,
had
and
the
he not.
chance to get him, we passed on him. He ain't coming up here.
Yeah.
They already they just got literally just got everything else situated. But
There was a
go
there
ahead.
was a list of a whole bunch of coaches that are going to be available, like Robert Sala, which I don't think he read. I just don't like his personality as a leader. I think he'd probably be better as a defensive coordinator. Sala, there was a couple other retreads out of there. I just think what Atlanta is needs somebody that knows how to put these guys together and that's going to be a leader of men. Because in that area, with the distractions of the Atlanta metro area and all that stuff, you need some guys that's going to light the fire to these guys. Because I think a lot of the guys felt like they didn't have to really stretch themselves to win games because they knew that their position was secure and there was nobody that was going to have them sitting on the bench. Does that make sense? And you need that. You need a little bit of fear. I remember people like Rod Smith back in the day with the Denver Broncos and those guys were scared to lose their jobs, even though
But
they had established themselves. They always played with that feel where somebody's coming to take their job.
you
Sometimes
know
when
why,
you got
right?
these guys right here, they don't think that they gonna lose their job and
You-
I'm getting paid regardless. So we win, that's okay. If we lose, that's okay. You got
But
to
coach,
have that sense of urgency, and you need
but
somebody that's gonna give that sense of urgency to these guys.
Yeah,
but coach, it's a
I second
reason for that.
that. I
It's a
second that,
reason for
man.
that. Think about it. You just mentioned 2 guys that came from small schools. And when most people, and I've been saying this about HBCUs and guys that are D2 players, when they don't get to go to the big schools, they don't get the favoritism like that. They get an opportunity to come here. They're going to fight tooth and nail to remain in the league. They're going to do that. Guys that are coming out of the Georgias, the Ohio States, the big time schools like that, they feel entitled. It's a difference. You name two guys that came in that were not entitled, that had to work for everything that they got. Just like one of our great alum, Coach Anthony Blaylock, another one that had to work.
And plus another thing you got to understand, a lot of these guys are not coming in broke. A lot of them coming in as millionaires.
Yeah, a lot of them coming in as millionaires now.
NIL, so you gotta find guys that are almost equally talented, but still the most important thing, and I hate to be bringing up because I know we Falcons. The one thing about this regime here in Jacksonville, you have to love ball. You can't just like ball. You got to. I mean, this is not just the players. This is everybody in this organization. Even if you scrubbing the flows now, if you don't love ball and don't love the Jaguars, you can't work there. You can't play there. They will ship you up. Tank Bigsby, all of what's they sent off to Cleveland. If you don't really love this sport, if it ain't important to you that you can't say, well, I'm gonna have to take a little time off from the family, you can't play here. Because everybody got to understand we love it here. I mean, if we live and die with our teams, just like I live and die with the Falcons. And it's important to us fans that our boys want to win as much as we want to watch them win. And that's what we need people coming in Atlanta. If y'all don't love being here, if y'all don't love being wearing that red and black, you can't work it.
Yep.
That's how it's got to be.
And here's something from Josiah Anderson off of X right now. Behind the scenes, this is what we got. She put this up about an hour ago. Behind the scenes, the Falcons have been discussing resetting their structure for weeks now. Terry Fontenot is out as a GM, and it may not stop there, per league source. Arthur Blank is taking back control of his building. Raheem Morris is out as a head coach. And here's the other thing that she put out here. For her, she said, my understanding is Matt Ryan's voice
got a job.
So this is what she said. Matt Ryan's voice is already active in the Falcons building per league sources. So in other words, Greg Beatles might be out too, by the way.
Hopefully goddamn he tell Rick, hey man, I know you like River K, but we got to get rid of his behind.
I'm gonna give you a guy that I've been preaching on, and this is a guy I mentioned last year as OC. I said Byron Leftwich should have been brought in here.
Where's he at now? I thought he was at Colorado or something. Where he at now?
No, he went to Colorado.
He was helping out at Colorado.
He was in Colorado with Prime, but he took the job when Prime fired that OC. But here's the thing. Prime don't want to hold on. If you, and everybody knows this, if you
I'm just trying to figure out where he was at the moment.
He was in Colorado because Prime gave him a job. But at this point, all I'm saying is Byron Leftwich would be perfect as an OC for the Atlanta Falcons while we get another. He wasn't with the 2016 team, by the way, Scoop. I know you saying that, but the man got a Super Bowl ring as the OC with Tampa. I get Brady was there, but Brady had enough respect to listen to him. He even said that himself.
So I done noticed, man, over the years, especially these past probably about 10 seasons, you need to have some type of success repeatedly over at least a 3-year span as a coordinator for me to even like look at you right now.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no disrespect to Byron Leftwich. Like I think that he is a good coach, but I'm telling y'all, man, this need to be a splash cut. Like you can't just throw no simple name out there. Like for me, from my perspective, you can't throw no little simple name out there for me. Like I need somebody that has been consistently hot, a hot name for the past 3 years. Like look at Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson has been with Detroit for 3 years. He sat and waited. He waited for that opportunity. You think people weren't calling to get Ben Johnson? He interviewed here.
He turned down a lot of opportunities to stay in Detroit.
Yes. And he stayed there.
They didn't think they weren't hiring him.
I think he had the opportunity to go with that number 1 pick with Caleb Williams, and then that's what made him jump ship. That quarterback.
And the crazy part about the whole thing was this.
Yeah, but I'm just what y'all tell y'all something about Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson, first of all, the coordinator that we have last year with us was what's his name? What's the head coach of the Bengals?
Oh,
Press
Zach
Taylor.
Taylor.
Press
Yeah.
Zach
Taylor.
Taylor.
Press Taylor
Zach
was
Taylor.
terrible with the Jaguars. Ben Johnson took him up there with that, and we was like, we were like good riddance. And he hasn't done anything. He's just been basically the guy that's learning under. Just because you don't know the name doesn't mean, and he hasn't had, he hasn't had this name that everybody been buzzing for the 3 years. Don't dismiss that, because what was his name? The coach of Carolina. He was only the OC for 1 year with the Bucks. Then now look what he's doing with Carolina. Our coach Liam Cohen was only the OC and play caller with the Bucks for 1 year. Now you see his success. They've been OCs other places at different levels, but it's not just whether they're good OC, it's how they lead men. You got to understand, you as the head coach, you just ain't there to look as be the play caller. If that's the case, you can go get the boy out down in Miami, because he's a goofball. He's a genius calling plays, but he can't lead no men.
But see, he another example, coach. He a part of that 2016 run too. I don't want him in the building either.
Who's that?
Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
He's a part of that 2016
Again,
coaching
like you
staff.
say, none of us want any of that stench still here in this building.
Okay.
Period. The stench is just
So
what
was
it
Brian
is.
Leftwich a part of that team?
No.
No.
Oh,
He
okay.
was just saying that he wants, if you're gonna make a hire, he wants a guy that's been hot for the last few years, that's proven himself in the last about 3 to 4 years into the league, an offensive coordinator. And then if you're gonna hire a coordinator,
And I understand, but what I'm saying is, I know Byron personally. One of the things about Byron, if you remember from his Marshall days, that guy leads men.
Facts. And that's why I
That
said
guy leads
Byron
men.
Leftwich.
Yeah, he leads men. He might be goofy as an athlete, but he knows how to get people to listen to him. He knows how to put people in good position. Remember what he did with the Cardinals too. Now he helped them. He helped them one of their best offensive season when he was there.
But coach,
It's not his fault that the head coach got fired.
But here's the thing, and you knew him personally, and you knew when I played over at Sandalwood back in high school, Aiken Adele, his little brother Harold was my teammate. We was getting them Jaguar players to come visit us on Friday nights in our locker rooms or whatnot, talking to us. Like, we knew Raheem Mathis. A lot of us knew him. I used to date his cousin back in the day. So a lot of those Jaguar players were very accessible around the city. Very accessible around the city. Byron was one of the coolest cats, and he would work out with us too. So we were doing drills and things like that. He is truly like a leader amongst men. And I'm talking about, it could be a different age gap, but he can relate to everybody. And that's something that you have to have in a leadership position. If you can't relate to everybody, it's not going to work.
And the one thing I would also add, he will understand the culture of Atlanta and Atlanta fans.
Yeah, he from DC.
He will fit in.
Exactly.
Now what he and then you got to think about the constraints of all the players that you got right now. What the salary cap system is. I think he would really maximize what's already on the roster. Obviously, what they're gonna bring in through draft and what they can get in free agency. The one thing I know he believes in finding good tight ends. So besides Pitts, if you get rid of Pitts, you still got to have somebody to replace him, but you also got to have guys that can do the dirty work and be consistent blocking. Because outside looking in, even though I watched it, I didn't get to see every Falcon game. I had a lot of respect for the Falcons' run game. The offensive line made whatever they lacked in pass blocking, they damn sure made up running the ball. Because you had out between Algier and Bijan, it's a damn good duo. And you did it. I mean, and you put up a lot of yards. It's just the passing game seemed like it didn't click right. Maybe if y'all want to correct me if I'm wrong.
No, the passing game wasn't right. The running game was all. But here's the thing: the running game has been good for the past couple of years, even before we got Bijan. When we had Cordell Patterson in that backfield with Duke Huntley, and then you got to also look at the fact that Algier broke William Andrews' record, sharing the carry with 4 different backs. Damian Williams didn't even get to play that season because his ribs got messed up in the first game. And that's when you saw Duke Huntley, Tyler Algier, Cordell Patterson in that backfield. And think about it. Patterson was your Swiss Army knife, while Kyle Pitts was the only guy that was out catching passes because Julio was jacked up, and we really didn't have a number 2 receiver at that point. So we was mainly running the offense with Matt Ryan, Tyler Algier, Duke Huntley till he tore his Achilles,
And
and
we
then
still
you
don't
had
have a
Kyle
number
Pitt.
2 wide receiver.
We didn't.
No, I'm
We
saying
really didn't. Cordell was-
we still don't have a number 2 wide receiver. Yeah.
Well, I will say this.
Hey, man.
I would say this about the Matt Ryan situation. If it's similar to what we went through with bringing in a guy that loves the organization, similar to what the Jets did by hiring what's his name? I just forgot his name as the head coach. They got love for the colors,
Aaron Glenn.
and they doing it not just for a paycheck. You get what
But
I'm saying? And if Matt Ryan truly loves the organization, he's gonna be open and honest about trying to find the best people to come in and run the team. To get what I'm saying? Best
hey,
coaches,
co-
and it ain't
but
gonna be no.
coach,
You don't want politics anymore. You want
but
guys
coach,
that's gonna make that team a winner.
I can speak on what I saw at the Jets training camp because I was there. I went
Mhm.
3 days. I got to
Mhm.
watch it. That culture is very different since Aaron Glenn got there compared. And when Jets fans talk about it, because their organization is like a family organization. That's just how it is. And I got to see what that was like up there. Go there. Shout out to Miss Connie Carberg who set that up or whatnot. Appreciate you and Mr. John for helping out or whatnot with that. But when we were there, and the crazy part about the whole thing is we all saw that Aaron Glenn had discipline and had respect the moment he stepped on that field. Them players were lined up, helmets were organized. You had white jerseys over here, green jerseys over here. They had stretch lines. They didn't do stretch lines with Robert Saleh. They didn't. The players didn't respect Robert Saleh. And they all talked about that. The fans talked about it, Miss Carberg, and they said when he came in, discipline was established. Even though it might not show in the winning record, he's doing the little things to try to get the big stuff right. And it wasn't a fluke that they beat Atlanta earlier this year when I was at the game. Wasn't a fluke. You just got to give him time because he inherited a mess when he took over the New York Jets. Defense wasn't the problem. The offense has been awful. Jay, what's good, man?
Man, what do you do, man?
I'm in a good mood right now, sir.
I'm happy to see the Falcons are tired of being mediocre, man.
Facts.
It just is what it is. Like, you know, Raheem going 8-9 is unacceptable, honestly. Like, you beat the Jets, hey, you beat the Dolphins. You in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just that simple. The Dolphins had 1 win when we played them. The Jets had 1 win when we played them. You can't beat that. And for Terry, I guess some fans are shocked about the Terry final thing. I did think that maybe Raheem had did enough to save his job, but I had told you that we don't make the playoffs this year. Over the summer, I said you're gonna let them both go. You get rid of Terry based off the trade, like that was an all-in trade. You bet on everything. Now this first round pick, you know, it might not be nothing. We'll see. It's supposed to be a weak class, but you're giving up a top 15 pick. Like top 10 pick. It's always talent. It don't matter how good or bad the draft is. The top 10, top 15 are the best players. I mean,
Be right back.
So, you know, I felt like Terry had to get going based on Falcons really lost a lot of games to me on kicking and special teams. It was horrible. It was like we lost 5 games at least, 4 games at least on guys can't make field goals. You tried 4 different kickers. Why?
Speaking of, is he still employed?
Like that should have been done in training camp. Like we shouldn't have went into, and then forget field goal kicking. You lost to the Buccaneers because you gave up 2 big returns to set them up. Like special teams all year has been terrible.
Yeah, special teams. Terrible.
People
But you know what, though,
about
Jay? I've been preaching this for the longest. I said special teams the third phase of the game and killing us. I said this last year. Everybody on this panel can tell you I said this last year. And I said this is going to continue as long as we keep this damn coach that we have. Because again, this dude literally was with Arthur Smith. And you saw how bad it was with him. And I'm like, why are you keeping this guy around? We need to get a better kicker. You've had chances to draft guys to help us. Young Wei Koo was let go. I'm just at this point, I'm just waiting to see what moves we're gonna make because like I told everybody, I said, yeah, Gonzalez hit a couple of kicks this year, but he's been passed around a lot in his career. I want to get a guy that I know, like a Peyton Woodring or the kid from Ole Miss that just knocked off Georgia that can hit from 60 yards out, or give me that kid that's at Iowa right now. He's a South Carolina guy, but he was kicking in monsoons and snowstorms up there. So again, Jay, you got to look at everything you need at this point, and we still need a D tackle. We don't even have that.
Man,
it's a lot we need.
Hey, look, we ain't got that many picks, man. So it's like I say,
you got to go through the undrafted side and really do some scouting at this point.
We got to do some real scouting and hit that free agency market also, man.
Yeah.
This has been Matthew's last season, man. We got to start making some. We need to quit holding on to guys for too long. Quit getting all enamored by them. Like you just cut the head coach head off that GM. Some of these long in the tooth guys, the Jake Matthews of the world, go. Goodbye.
Yep. And here's the other thing that we got to also establish in here. Pandemic, I'm gonna let you go. When you look at what we've done, okay, we've got some good pieces here. The thing that we didn't do when we had the opportunity to do it, you really didn't put any good pieces around these great diamonds that you've gotten. You didn't put nobody around them. You didn't really scout like you were supposed to. You didn't bring in anything that was going to help. And I like my man was saying earlier, everybody was saying that the Kirk Cousins deal is what really got Terry up out of here. That was what hurt. A lot of people talk about everything else, but it was that Kirk Cousins deal that got him up out of here because of what went on. I hate to say it that way, but it's just the truth because he fixed everything else when it came to bringing in pass rush. He fixed when we needed playmakers or whatnot. He brought them. But it was when you brought Kirk in and that whole fiasco happened last year, that right there, if you didn't make the playoffs like Jay was saying this year, and Myles Garrett said it earlier when we interviewed him earlier this year. Myles Garrett came in here and said it, hands down. Terry, unfortunately, might not be here after this year if we don't make the playoffs or win the division. He might not make it. And Myles Garrett said it word for word. So all I say is now we just got to see what we're going to do at this point, which direction we're going to go in. What's up, Fandemic? What you got?
Shoot, man, I'm gonna take y'all away. I'm gonna take y'all all the way back to last year's draft when he chose Penix. I don't know if y'all remember the look on Arthur Blank's face when Michael Penix's name was read, and the camera went to the war room, and you saw Terry Fontenot having to explain why he went with that pick, and you saw Arthur Blank. He didn't nod his head or nothing. He just put his head down and he walked away. That is what started Terry Fontenot's demise. Because there was a game plan coming in, and I think Arthur Blank had signed off on that game plan. But when he chose Penix, he went against Arthur Blank. Now, one thing about Arthur Blank, he's long in the pocket, short on patience. I used to work for one of his subsidiaries. And when he came in and fired the CEO of that company, that tells me that joker, he does not play about business. That's why he brought this consulting firm in. And anytime what business you in, corporate business you in, you bring in a consulting firm, that's telling you and telling everybody that follows that company or whatever, that something's about to shake up. And sure enough, it has.
A Fandemic, something got leaked from the pretty much from a reporter or whatnot. So the decision to fire Raheem today was by Josh Blank, his son. And Arthur agreed.
I said it. I said he need to hand over the keys
today.
And who do you think is going to be the next GM?
His son probably going to be the GM. But here's the thing. This is what they were saying. So I'm told that earlier in the year, Morris was asked to fire Zach Robinson, and he said no. They said the
Wow.
Blanks were so upset about it. They said they didn't waste time, and wasting the year that Bijan had and losing games they could not be overlooked. So in other words, Arthur Blank's son pretty much gave him the hatchet. We got 2 wins today, fellas. We swept the Saints, and we starting to clean the garbage up out of here. This is how you start off 2026.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I got a question. What was the deal with firing what was his name, the wide receiver coach? What was the deal? Was he the coach?
We still don't know.
That was pride.
Coach, I can
That
tell
was
you that
scapegoat.
it's not gonna come out. But if you look at the tweets and different messages that were coming out from Ray McLeod and things like that, that was personal. The reason why he got fired.
Personal.
And
He wanted Zach Robinson fired. That's the reason why he got fired.
And here's the thing, but he was the first one to speak out on that, and not just speak out on that.
I still ain't got the answer. Why did he get fired?
Because
he
him
wanted Zach
and
Robinson
Ray
fired.
McLeod were 2 guys that stood up to Raheem and pretty much talked behind closed doors and called him out about Zach Robinson. I'm gonna tell y'all another person that I believe might be, his job might be safe now because Raheem is gone. But if you look at it, Kadero Hodge was right along with their trio.
Yeah.
Think about it. Kadero wasn't hurt. They put him on. They made him a healthy scratch, and that was BS. And he was literally one of our best special teams players. Period. And was clutch for us when we asked him to be in the ball game as a receiver.
Yeah.
And you said Ray home, and I told you over the summer the Falcons really were not that good at receiver. I said they're a Drake London injury away from looking real bad out there, and Ray was actually good. Like once they kicked Ray off the team, you didn't replace his production. It was just bad. It was like
everybody knows the kind of person Ike Hilliard was as a player. He wasn't afraid to speak his mind whatsoever. He was very boisterous with it. He was loud with it. And I think he took that same sentiment to Raheem, and Raheem did not like it. It became a pride thing. And you know how it is with pride in men. We can't swallow our pride. It kills us. And he had to fire.
That's a dude from Louisiana that you talking about. And them
Yeah,
kids
no.
down there, they built different. So when you bring a guy like that played, and then not just that, he played for one of the biggest vocal coaches that developed him in Steve Spurrier.
Yeah.
So he brought that attitude to the league. That's why he played for so many years.
Yeah.
People don't understand. Ike Hilliard was a bad man in the league when he was there. He just was quietly producing.
Yeah.
But again,
let me tell y'all something. This coming from me as a coach. There's an old saying, and I live by this. If you're the smartest person you know, you get all your advice from fools. Y'all understand what that means?
Yeah.
That's a fact.
If you're gonna hire coaches and you won't listen to them, you the fool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody, there ain't nobody that know everything. If my job as the head coach is to bring coaches in there to make me look damn good.
Yeah.
Not to show them that I know everything, and then I send there and do all the stuff, and then my job is to hire them, let them do their job, but then take the credit.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
Point blank, simple as that. But I'm gonna just tell you what I seen with Raheem was a lot of time he act like he was the assistant. He getting in spats. He get in front of the camera out the wing, acting like it's about him instead of the team. Head coaches don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You already got the win. Why you got a showboat with it?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And then you got young men what you trying to tell to act one way, but you do another.
Yeah.
It's that old saying, do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
So coach, so here's some of the names, because I talked about your OC. You still got Mike LaFleur, who's the offensive coordinator for the Rams right now. I wouldn't mind bringing him in. The other cats that we talked about, you got Lou Arano, who's the DC for Indianapolis. He's a solid coach, but I wouldn't bring him here to Atlanta. I would more so, for me, another guy is Chris Shula, Don Shula's grandson. Another one who's been around the game. But
he's good.
He's real good. It's as if we don't bring in these guys. If you can't get a Clint Kubiak, I'm looking at Chris Shula. Say what you want. And Jesse Mentor is another one that you got to look at. Former player who played in the NFL, was a good player back in the day, another DC. So again, and you got Joe Brady. You got multiple people that you can pull to bring into Atlanta. And my thing is this. as long as their teams are in the playoffs, you can't talk to them just yet. You can talk to them, but you can't really have that business decision with them. But there's a lot of good candidates out here for Atlanta to pull from.
Yeah.
Yeah, please don't talk to him early. We already done got fined for that in the past.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
just keep it G, and wait till so you can talk to some of these guys that are still in the playoffs. There are some good quality candidates probably sitting on the couch. You just got to really do your homework like they did in that draft, man. You got to do your homework on these coaches also, man.
Yeah.
I think we hire so quickly. I mean, just do you take your time, man. Take your time and do a thorough search, and then make a quality hire.
Yeah.
Okay, Gumbo, I
Get
agree
your
with you
general manager
100%.
first. Get your
And
general
Ryan,
manager
you right.
first.
Get the GM first. I
Because
wouldn't hire a coach until at least
Thank
2
you.
weeks after the Super Bowl.
And
Yeah.
here's my thing: get your general manager first. This is where we screwed up at last time we did this. We hired a coach before we got the general manager. That's what we.
The only way you hire the coach, if the coach is already on board with who you plan on bringing in as the GM, similar to what we did here. And it's somebody maybe that you asked to who he would like to work with. That way there's a working relationship. You can't get like what we've been used to having down here in JV. The GM, then the coach, and the coach got to listen to the GM, and ain't no collaboration. Or the GM say, I like these type of guys. Well, this guy don't fit my system. I don't like that. And now it's always going to be real argument in the building. Get the guys with everybody on the same accord. That way it's a consensus of who we getting, what we doing. And if these guys are the guys that we want, that way ain't nobody talking behind each other back. And if we go down, we go down together. But 9 times out of 10, if you're on the same page, you all gonna rise together.
So here you go. Randy McMichael, former NFL tight end, Georgia Bulldog legend, great player. Randy McMichael literally just said, so ass backwards, one voice, one higher, and shake my damn head. I'm with him. We don't need the ZRG partners for a head coaching search. We don't need the Sportsology group. You let your owner figure this out, because this is who you're going to work for. We don't need any pencil pushers who don't understand football.
Yeah.
You're looking at numbers. You don't understand the feel of the game. You don't understand guys that have been groomed in systems and what they bring to the table. You don't understand leader of men. You just look at numbers, and most of you damn book, and I'm speaking at the sports group, most of you damn bookworms that are in there probably never played a moment or a down of competitive football in your life.
But the thing, Ryan, too, and not to interrupt, but the thing too, Arthur Blank is not a football guy.
No,
he's a business guy. So he gotta look for help someplace else. He has to, whether it be from that consulting firm or whether it be from another former GM or something. He has to look. He can't rely on his own because he does not have the knowledge of football. His background.
You got Rich McKay in here who won a Super Bowl, who you brought in as your right hand man that really hadn't did his job properly. Right. And my thing is, this jerk needs to be, and I call him a jerk because after that interview he had, that's what he's painted as. Yeah. This jerk literally put you in a position to where it made you look bad. You shouldn't have to have a firm because you got a guy that was in a family that helped start the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Yeah.
That understood how to bring in a GM, that understood how to bring in a coach. If they would have been smart, think about this. They allowed Joe Gibbs to walk out the door. Joe Gibbs was the offensive coordinator that drafted Doug Williams, that helped them win their NFC Central Division back when they were in the old Central. He goes to St. Louis, and they have a great offense with Jim Hart. What's the guy's name? Green, that was at wide receiver. That was a two-way player. And then he leaves and goes to San Diego, and then you got Air Coryell, who he was with in St. Louis. And then he goes to Washington and wins 3 Super Bowls and played 4 different quarterbacks during that time, and literally was an offensive genius, and he figured out how to stay out the way, and he brought Richie Pettibone in to run his defense. Yeah. Again, you have to have people to understand how to look at talent, how to bring in people. A hiring firm ain't gonna do that.
Yeah.
because half of them
They're
don't.
going to be the ones that actually look at the numbers, like you said. They're going to be the ones that look at the numbers and who they think might be analytically correct to fit in for the Falcons. So,
that's exactly what they're gonna do. They all about that. They're gonna put all the numbers in a bunch, and then this is who we came up with, Mr. Group.
But I got a name for you guys. Byron Leftwich.
We already talked
about it.
We talked about it extensively.
Yeah, I missed it then.
Yeah, we talked about him. I think we covered a lot. Until some more names come out, though. I don't know, man. We're gonna see what happens, man. It's an interesting time, like I said, but they need to take their time, really do a thorough search. I know fans and me, myself, and others like me are going to be eager to know what direction we're going to go in. But man, we're doing a thorough search. Just keep putting that out on all these social media pages. The off season is a long way away, and the next season a long way. But we will do a thorough search and bring in a quality head coach.
Yeah, but the thing is too, with all these moves that just happened, I hope that us as fans that we are patient along with it too, because unless everything just falls right falls right for us, we're not going to be this team that we're looking at. We contending for a playoff.
Pandemic.
When you fire GM, head coach, offensive coordinator, you basically almost start over from scratch. I mean, yes, you have a core nucleus as far as your team, but a lot of these teams, especially now when it comes down to the numbers and money to spend going into the future, we might lose a few players that we want to keep.
Here's something else that's gonna be good, and this is just what it is. So we all been asking for it. We gonna get a new GM. We gonna get a new head coach. Matt Ryan is coming back to Atlanta in the front office job, and he's been vocal as we've heard. And here's the kicker: we get new uniforms. Hopefully, we go back to the red helmets because that's been in talks.
Yeah,
that has been in talks about the Falcons going back to the red helmets permanently. So,
I pray for that.
I'm praying for that too, man.
Yeah.
So I had to throw that in there because that's something that everybody forgot about that's been talked about and has been advertised. So when you look at it, Jay called it this summer. I got to give him that. Jay called that this summer when we were talking. And I told Jay, I said, here's the thing it's the only thing that would save Terry. We get to the playoffs. And if they got to get to the playoffs, that's the only thing that would keep Terry in the building. But because that didn't happen, Terry and Raheem suffered the same fate of that axe. So at this point, once we figure out somebody that's going to come in here, we just got to get somebody who understands and knows football and situational awareness. Those are the main two things, because you got a great defense already established. Makes no sense to touch that defense.
Yeah.
But depending on who we get as a coach, we'll find out.
I just didn't like with this team here because this is so very young. I mean, I don't think there's anybody who's been here long outside of Kadero Hodge that's been here too long, right? And everybody's young. And I really did like the idea of all first timers coming in.
Matthew's been here for a long time.
I don't know.
I forgot about Matthews.
He need to get this. Should have been his last game in the Falcon uniform.
Matthews gonna retire Falcon, man. I can already see it. I can see it.
You need to have an early retirement. Yeah,
with this young team right here, man. Like Ryan said, we gotta have some proven coaching talent. I be all this first year head coach, first year offensive coordinator, first year defensive coordinator. They got to go, man. I don't know that, and that's why I was like, Arthur Blank should have been more in touch with Terry Fontenot and why he didn't make that move to say, hey, we need to have some proven talent because we got a young team, especially with a quarterback like Penix. Got to have some experienced guys, quarterback developer, defense. We brought Albrecht in, who's a proven guy. We should have did the same thing on offense, right behind Jimmy Lake. As soon as he left, get rid of Zach Robinson too. But I know how it looks too. You don't want to fire the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and the head coach all in the same season. So, but I just never liked that idea. I never liked it.
Well, to me, when you fire a head coach,
I kind of agree with you, but let me disagree with depending on what you can get a younger head coach as long as he's got some guys that's in his corner that's with him to help him grow into that. Give you example, Seattle with Mike McDonald. You know who the assistant head coach is, right?
Right.
Leslie Frazier. So you got an adult in the room that can help these guys. But the thing about it, guys, you want that young guy that's going to be relatable and he's going to be able to command these men. You can have an older assistant in there with them to help them with the day-to-day operations and some of that other stuff. But the guy that you got to bring in has got to be able to connect with those guys and earn their respect and get the guys that's going to play for him. But more importantly, like y'all said, you got to get rid of guys that ain't about that red and black. If they in there just for a check, they got to go, regardless of who it is in the building. I'm telling you that's the magic thing right there. They got to play for the name on the jersey and the logo. If they in there, if they there for any other reason, they got to go. Because when you get in, because all these games are tight games. All these games are tight games. What's your why? Why are you stretching? Why are you paying through injury? Why are you playing through the pain? Why will you come in and work extra? Will you study extra? You know what I mean? Because as fans, we can't do nothing but watch. And we want these guys and we pray for these guys to love it as much as we love it.
Right.
And a lot of times you get guys in the building that don't. They just mercenaries.
They just
What made you? So here's a question I got for you. You mentioned a name, and I didn't say nothing. And you know I'm smiling from ear to ear because that's a name I ain't heard in a minute. You mentioned Leslie Frazier, sir. That's a name that most people don't know much about. If you're a true football fan, you know who he is. You know about his days. And my thing is, I preach HBCU boys all the time. That's an Alcorn State boy right there. If you don't know, and was a member of that 85 Bears team. Unfortunately, a gruesome knee injury cost him his career because Leslie was a shutdown corner. And he was a hitter. You couldn't be on a Buddy Ryan defense and you were scared to hit, and you couldn't be stupid. That's one thing I got to give Buddy Ryan. All his players were intelligent. And if you look at damn near everybody that has played for him that are head coaches or were head coaches, like a Bubba McDowell, unfortunately, Prairie View let him go. And then you look at Leslie Frazier, who was a head coach. Things didn't work out. But then when you look at him as a defensive assistant head coach, Leslie has been in the game for over 20 years.
Yeah.
And he's in Seattle right now as an assistant head coach and defensive coordinator currently right now. And he's got a ring with that last Legion of Boom team. He was working with Dan Quinn. Who do you think was helping Dan Quinn?
Yeah.
Let's be real on that. Everybody give Dan Quinn that genius for that, but who do you think was helping him out?
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Nobody that's Leslie that credit, but Leslie was that dude.
Yeah. But that's what hurt Raheem. Raheem didn't have that. You know, if Raheem run into a situation where he needed answers, he couldn't turn to nobody. He was a
Jerry Gray
guy, right?
though.
He
Jerry Gray in the Jerry Gray's an older coach and player.
Yeah, but realistically, I mean,
I take that back.
Raheem
I don't know how much he listened to him.
Yes, that's the problem. That's the problem. With him being
Leslie Frazier was coaching with the Colts with Tony Dungy when they won that championship. My bad. He was on that team that lost with the Seahawks at that time assisting. What's up, Larry?
What's going on, Larry?
What's going on, Larry?
What's going on, guys? Just got back from a long trip.
Welcome back, bro. Welcome back.
Heard the great news.
Glad you made it back
in the car. And when we got home. Yeah, I think the rumors about Raheem losing the locker room were real. Him scapegoating Ike Hilliard and, going to the mat for his boy Zach Robinson did him in. In my opinion, I think they asked him flat out, are you going to fire this dude?
Mm-hmm.
They looked at today's game and was like, inadequate. What's your plan? Probably asked him, you think you bring Kirk back and having all this money? Nope.
Yeah.
You think that your piss poor game clock management, you riding with this special team coach, and we done gave up 3 kickoffs and 1 punt return this season?
Mm-hmm.
It
horrible.
you get to the point that it's just like word on the street, you know, that the owner's son asked him to fire Zach Robinson. He said no. But then didn't one of those games he gave Zach Robinson a game ball?
Yeah. Yeah.
He handed out about 6 game balls that one time. So I felt like he was gonna be fired. What was that? The Tampa Bay, that was the Monday night game in Tampa Bay.
That was Tampa Bay.
I think Arthur Blank was gonna fire him then, but they won that game.
I got something to
They
add.
continued to win. He should have fired him anyway, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because if you knew then that you were gonna fire him, why waste time? You know what I'm saying? If he already lost the locker room, why waste time? It don't matter. You could have got your search going earlier. Terry Fontenot.
I think he did. To be honest, I think he did. I think he really did.
Oh, you think he told him that you're fired at the end of the season, no matter what?
Well, I don't think he told him. I think that Arthur Blank did have this right here. What he's doing, I think he already had this in planned and in motion. I don't think he verbally told Raheem he's going to be fired, but because of how things went down, I think he already, and that's why he went on and brought that firm in. I think he already had this in his mind that, okay, we're not going to have another season like this. We're going to move on. And
that's fair.
I mean that statement that historian said, well, he was like, "I'm taking my building back, man." I think those are the words that he probably uttered. Like, I want my team and my building back, man. I don't know what's
This is
going on
what
here.
happened because they reported this early, and I read this a little while ago.
Okay,
they were talking about there was already movement, but what screwed him and pretty much cost him his job when they asked him to fire Zach Robinson earlier, he said no, sealed his fate. Arthur Blank and his son was pissed. They kept it quiet. They kept it to the vest. So that pretty much sealed his fate or whatnot. And then you got to look at it. He didn't fire the special teams coach either. But as I said before, now, and this is something you missed out on, and we all said this, now you're getting ready to have a whole new brand new coach that's going to come here. But what we need to do first, lock down the general manager first before we get a coach.
No, we need to fire Rich McKay first. We need to fire the hand. We need to find those pictures that he got on Arthur Blank and Big Booty Judy. And so he could.
Man, he ain't got.
We need to find those. We need to find those pictures and burn them.
You do realize that you remember last summer. You do remember last summer. Y'all do realize that last summer that Arthur Blank got taken to court for an inappropriate relationship with a flight attendant, and he went to court for it. He paid a settlement out of court. Y'all look that up.
That's my whole point, man. Rich McKay been failing upwards his whole career here. He's been failing upwards. He's the one that told them fire Dan Quinn. That was the first mistake.
Yeah,
like he's an idiot. Guess what? The only reason he's here is because he's getting us Super Bowls. He's getting us, all these events at the Benz. Or
he's gonna be the next NFL commissioner.
That's right. He's making Arthur Blank money. And you know what, guys? I'm gonna be honest, man. I feel like Arthur Blank, in his heart, wants to do the right thing, but he has the wrong, Game of Thrones. He has the wrong hand. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He got Tyrion Lannister up there running everything, and it's just like, if you don't get rid of, the constant is him, and it's such a hustle, bro. It's like, hey, yo, check this out. I'm gonna be in charge of the independent firms. I'm gonna vet the names, and I'm gonna give him the author, and he's gonna make the decision. That way, I'm passing the buck on anybody he hires, because this is Arthur Blank's decision, not mine. How do I have a CEO of the football team that doesn't put his stamp on his team? Like, what does Greg Beatles do? Beetlejuice. Will he pop up? Have you seen him? Have you seen him? Have you seen him, Ryan? Tell me, have you seen him? Seen him?
Man, kill
I
me with
ain't.
that.
I've not.
Have you
I've
seen him when he
literally
pop up?
not seen Greg Beatles since the introductory interview.
There's got to be the people they calling for need to be going. They said they calling for
So,
more heads to
so is
roll.
Matt Ryan going to get hired for
That
anything?
Beatles was gonna be the next one that was gonna be going out the building. It's right
If
now.
yeah, if Matt Ryan going to take anybody's job, that's a job because he don't do nothing. What does he do?
Yeah.
Well, here's the funny part. We already know who getting ready to be the new owner. And that's
Oh, son,
eventually
yeah. It's about to be passed down to his son.
Plant the key. Plant the key.
all I'm saying is this: Arthur Blank ain't passing the keys until he goes to the upper room. You know what I'm saying? He ain't leaving until, as Ray Gibson would say,
The upper room with Jesus. You know what that is, the upper room?
he ain't leaving till he go to the upper room. So again, his son is gonna be next in line to take over. But let's be honest, his son is the one with the fire in his eyes. We saw that during draft night. We saw that when he was in Terry's face and putting some stuff out there. We told people that's gonna be the problem. And at this point, Larry, and I said this earlier, and you might have heard it. The person I kind of feel bad for right now is Penix, because Kirk gonna be gone. We already know this. Kirk ain't gonna be here. Penix is coming off a knee injury, and you're gonna have a whole new head coach in here,
whole new regime in here,
a whole new regime.
They
might not want him. That's the problem.
100%. No. That's not might. What coach is going to come in here and want to?
We don't know if the new regime might say, "Hey, we might be able to do something with this kid." It might be somebody who does that.
I mean,
I'm just throwing
Larry,
everything out there.
I'm with Larry, man.
The only reason they keep Michael Penix is because they don't have a number one pick, and hopefully the new person that come in here say, "Guess what? We're not trying to pick another Ritter and hang our hat on a second or third round pick." Either my philosophy is you don't draft a quarterback unless you think he is the quarterback.
Right.
Now, Terry Fontenot thought that Michael Penix was his quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And there was rumors that he wanted Justin Fields. Okay. Those were rumors that him and Arthur Blank knocked heads about that. So instead of doing that, he said, "Well, pick whoever you want, but not Fields," and that's why he picked Pitts. Pitts did him in. This is why Terry Fontenot got fired. Pitts and Michael Penix
and Kirk Cousins. That deal.
Well, no, Raheem got fired for Kirk Cousins.
That's what I'm saying.
That was Raheem wanted Kirk Cousins.
And again,
period.
Terry, and here's the thing. But Terry signed off on that deal, so his fate was tied to that. That's the reason I'm saying that, Larry.
Okay, I got you, but I feel like they had if I will get this quarter, I will sign Kirk Cousins for you, but do not veto me getting Michael Penix Jr.
Yeah,
I think that was their deal, and the problem is that everything would have went copacetic if Kirk Cousins didn't hurt his arm and tried to play through it. And Raheem ruined 2 seasons because he let Kirk tank out a season with that injury.
Yeah.
He saw it. Everybody named Mama saw after everybody named Mama saw he lost his velocity after that New Orleans game. You know, you want to give
that velocity still ain't came back because that ball looked flat today.
He was throwing 25.7 mile per hour. That was the lowest in NFL history for a starting quarterback after that New Orleans game.
Hold up, Larry.
And he never benched him until it just got too bad that he couldn't throw anymore.
Hey, Larry, hold up real quick. Hey,
Yeah.
Trinity, we want you
sir.
to be on stage, but you gotta have your camera on.
Well, the only reason why is because I'm doing on my iPad, and apparently it won't let me download like the latest version to show my face.
Okay.
So that's the only reason why I'm
This
doing
will
the
be
audio.
all right. So this will be the only time we let you slide with this up in here. So I got to make sure I put that out there or whatnot, because we generally have everybody that comes in here that knows to come in here or whatnot. You got to have your face showing, but because you're having technical difficulties, we got
Man,
you.
I
What you
don't
got?
want my face now.
Hell nah, you better put that camera back up. What you got, Trinity?
Oh no, yeah, man. So I literally just got done cooking, y'all. But I'm so happy with Raheem being gone, but I'm sad for Terry because of, again, the main person that we all want gone is Mr. McKay, because he's been the problem
He's the
since the
elephant in the
beginning.
room. Elephant in the dang room.
And
for 5
so,
minutes.
well, I mean, but it's plain and simple. I mean, we are all real Falcons fans, and I've been my entire life, and there's been one constant through all of the regimes that we have had. It's been one man outside of the owner, and so, you know what? Let me get off of Rich McKay. I don't want to talk about Terry and Raheem. So with Terry, I feel bad for him, is because he got a raw deal. He clearly didn't want to draft Penix, but our owner had one person that he wanted. So he's the one that actually writes those checks and really sign. Like, he's the one that is forcing people to do stuff. Apparently, Rich McKay is the reason why that we aren't part of Belichick being here. But guess who got blamed? Terry. You know what I'm saying? Terry has drafted, especially these last 2 drafts, and I would say maybe 3, because he did draft Bijan. Whether or not if Terry was the one that really wanted Bijan here, we don't know, or I don't know. But these last 2 drafts, he has cooked enough for just these 2 drafts alone to save his job.
Yeah.
And guess what? He's a master with the cap. You see, we have now, since he's been here, that has been such an underrated thing that ain't nobody talking about. That he got us out of cap hell, dealing with Matt Ryan and Julio, and he had to do all of that. And the deal that he gave Kirk Cousins wasn't really a true hindrance, and like in us not signing other people, because the deal is really a 2-year deal with options for the 3rd and 4th year. Because now we can get rid of him. Again, he's the reason why Jesse Bates is here. He's the reason why who's our linebackers?
Caden Ellis.
Caden Ellis and
Divine
David Automata.
Diablo.
David Onyemata is not a linebacker, Will. What you
No,
talking about?
I'm just saying like the players he brought in.
Oh,
I'm just
no.
David
He
Automata
was asking who the linebackers was, but
well, like, I'm getting to the point. Well, like William got to what I was about to say, is that he's the one that has brought all these guys who's been starters and got them on good contracts. The only one that's a high was like David Onyemata, and what's his name? But look at all the people that he brought in that's veteran leaderships that actually have played great football. And then with these youngsters, these past couple years, that's all he can do. And again, if that's what he was brought here for cap relief and his drafting ability, he has done a B+ job and an A+ with these last 2. So
Hey, Trinity,
that's what
I
I want to just say right there.
Hey, Trinity, I just want to ask you. I think that he got fired because he didn't build any depth behind all these players he brought in. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, but the depth is because of injuries. But it's injuries, and a lot of.
But when you have injuries to your starters, you have to have depth, and he didn't bring us any depth.
I just find it funny. I just find it funny that everybody's echoing all the stuff I've been saying for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
I find it's funny that I'm hearing this now, and everybody is on this bandwagon with depth now. I find it funny. I was called crazy. I was called a hater. I've been called everything but a child of God because he needed depth, and we was awful.
Look, let's be honest. Let's be honest with it.
No, I'm just trying to give him being a devil's advocate. What he's saying? Why?
I know what you're saying, but I'm talking about many people that have come in that's come on this platform when I've said this to them, and they told me how wrong I was about the depth, how wrong I was that we don't have championship caliber players. And I was told that. What's up, Larry?
You didn't hear that from me
I
because
know you didn't say it.
I'm about to say.
On it.
I'm like, well,
I've been said that's why
Larry,
I
you know
switched
I'm
the
good
team
for
so
putting
weak.
names on
we gonna list
stuff.
him
You know
up.
I
Pay
put a
for it.
name on it.
No, you ain't gotta put no names on it. I mean, I'm just making
Put a
sure
name
that
on. Are we scared? Say it with your chest.
Well, can I say this, y'all? Can I say this? Is that with
what I
depth?
want to. Oh well,
Oh, go ahead. Well,
Go
I
ahead,
would say
Larry.
this.
what I wanted to say is that I will agree. This past season might have been one of the best drafts we've ever had
Yeah.
for season. But the
Right.
problem is, where you spend the number 4 pick on a tight end, and now you're in year going on his paid year, and you're not going to be able to retain him.
Yeah.
Then guess
And we
who's
know that was
next?
Arthur Smith.
He should be
Guess
that
who's
guy.
next? Drake is about to get a max. And
Yeah.
then Bijan is about to break the bank for. He's gonna set a new record for running backs. And then guess what? Once you do that, now you into Michael Penix last year.
Tyler Algier.
If you keep him. So
Yeah.
again, guys, it's like
Tough.
we can say, okay, this last draft was great, but you can't get around Troy Anderson.
That's what I said, man.
You can't get around. You can't get around Troy Anderson instead of N'Kobe Dean, instead of plenty of other players. You can't.
You are right. But guys, can I put?
I'm gonna put a name on this, man.
You can't. You
for
can't.
this,
Also, if you knew you weren't going to keep him, why didn't you trade Pitts? Why didn't you trade Algier? You're not going to be able to re-sign them.
Yeah.
You
So
cannot.
Larry, I gotta put a name
Can't
on
pay
this.
everybody.
I gotta put a name on this because I don't normally do this unless we're in the heated debate. But I had some fellow podcasters that were from other shows that have come up in my house that have come sideways at me because I told the truth. One of them was a trucker. Can't think of the guy's name. We had to ban him and whatnot because he tried to cuss us out. He's one of them. I think his name was White Boy Winston or something like that. But he was the truck driver.
Trucker dude told the white dude. I remember.
Yeah, he was the one that tried to say I was dead wrong for that. And I said, dude, you don't know your elbow from your ass. And I told him that. And that's when I kicked him up out of here because he tried to call me every which name or whatnot. I said, no, we
ain't might tolerate that.
Yeah, and I kicked him up out of here. That was one. Got another one or whatnot. A couple other Falcon podcasters, and it's not in the networks that y'all know, but they've come in the chats and started talking sideways. Here's my thing. How you like me now?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it like Doug Williams said when he won that Super Bowl. How do you like me now? When are y'all gonna start listening to me? When I say I'm a student of the game, I'm a true student of the game, and I don't ever beat my chest like this but today I got to because I'm validated today. It's the only time you're gonna hear me do it like this. Start listening to people who talk, who read, who study the game. Listen to people who do this. You think I'm gonna tell you, let's be real. You think I didn't get my, like I was already knowledgeable, but you see that man that's right there? That's Terry McGriff. That's another one who taught me a lot and is still teaching me a lot. I got people that I work with. Larry teaches me. I listen to K-Dub. He has some great insight. Pandemic, they bring stuff. Here's the thing. If you're going to be in this business as a content creator, or if you're going to be in the business of sports talk in general, it's okay for other people to be right sometimes. Yeah. It's okay. Don't get mad about it. Just take it.
Yeah, be humble.
Right now, I'm not being humble about it because I'm tired of. I'm always taking the high road. Today is the day I'm not. Since I started this podcast, I've been right about damn near 85-90% of everything I said. From players to coaches to front office. The only thing that validates it is you're hearing NFL Network come out and say it now. You're hearing Steve Weiss when he comes on this show. He validated what I said.
Yeah.
You heard Myles Garrett say it. So at the end of the day, it's like this. I have no problem with being wrong. I can tell you, oh, you know what? That's my mistake. I've done it with Larry. I've done it with Coach. I've done it everywhere. But don't come in here on the disrespectful side saying that we don't know ball.
Yeah.
And you truly aren't like that. It's just what it is. And the crazy part about the whole thing is this, and I'm finna land this plane. It's funny when people run out of stuff to say, you want to start reverting to name calling and saying this. But right now, you sitting here cheering with us, and I see you in the chat. I'm not gonna out you, but you know who the hell you are. I'm looking at you right now. You was one of the ones who called me every name in the effing book. So understand this.
Yeah.
That's
Ryan a good dude.
That's your only warning you gonna get from me. I let you slide this season, clown. But just know that the next time you come in here sideways, your ass gonna be up out of here. Just like they used to cast out the Pharisees in biblical times and put them up to the caves. Definitely gonna boot your ass. I don't have a problem with you being right and wrong, but the disrespect, I let you sit in here long enough to simmer in it. How you like me now, dumbass?
Let them see. Let them see.
Now we can talk. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Facts.
Here's the thing too. Here's the thing too.
Can I add to your
Can the church say something?
Go ahead.
But here's what a lot of people got to realize too. A move is made like this when desperation comes, right? Because if nobody, the only move that I hate is that we let Terry go. That's the only move, and I say that because this team has so much talent on it, bar none, both sides of the ball, even on special teams. Regardless of how they turned out, even on special teams, we got so much talent. But it was a decision that was made throughout the season. And at the end of the season, you are nowhere near the playoffs. You are nowhere near to having a 500 season. And then on top of that, you embarrass the owner. You lose to these teams that you should have wiped the slate with. Yeah. I mean, truthfully enough, you lose the team that you wiped the slate with, and then you want to come and win against the Bills. I mean,
the Rams
doesn't make any sense.
I mean, the
Rams
Rams. But the thing is, you embarrass the franchise. You embarrass the state. After Terry Fontenot and Arthur Blank has come in and made so many promises about what was going to happen in this 3 years window that Terry Fontenot gave us a couple of years back. He gave a 3-year plan, but the one plan that did not work. The one thing about the plan that did not work was the hiring of Raheem. Hiring Raheem brought in Jimmy Lake. Hiring Raheem brought in Zach Robinson. Both of them should have never been here in the first place.
No.
And apparently it wasn't Terry's idea. Again, Rich McKay, his homeboy.
Well, it really don't matter at this point who hired who. They should have never been here for this team.
Exactly.
Right? For this team. Now,
experience.
Doesn't mean that Terry still didn't have power.
Yeah, Ryan was talking about it earlier, and Larry and I talked about it on another show that when Raheem starts having problems and looking for answers, who is he going to lean to? There's nobody there for him to lean to. When Zach Robinson starts faltering and he needs answers, who he going to turn to? There was nobody there.
Kirk.
Who?
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk don't want to play with Zach.
But that's why the offense changed.
Look,
think about the Miami game. Miami game on his same system until Kirk Cousins dog cussed him out and ran no huddle and went down the field and scored.
Why do you think that happened?
Because he's like, I'm not gonna be here as a target practice, sitting here pistol all game. You know what I'm saying?
Kirk did not want to play for
when he came back as a starter, he's like, look here, man, you better scrap this crap. This is probably gave him a whole bunch of plays. This is why I want to run, and we better run more play action. Even with the last 4 or 5 games that we ran predominantly play action, we still was number 32 in the league.
Yeah.
Bro, we was about to set an all-time record for not using play action with Michael Penix because of this dumb offensive coordinator who thought he was so good he didn't have to call plays in preseason.
Right.
It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, I go back to that. I'm like,
This whole
that blows my mind. You think you're so good, you don't even call plays in the preseason. You got your assistant that can't even call plays. None of y'all can call plays.
Look,
guys,
and why do you think Kirk Cousins blew up at Zach Robinson? What game was that? Was that during the San Francisco game?
I think that was Miami game. He was cussing him on the sideline.
No, that was Miami game. It was Miami
Dolphins game.
Kirk does not. He did not want to play against. He did not want to play for Zach Robinson because if Zach Robinson truly did not know what he was doing, he did not. That's why Drake was so quick to come out with that tweet that almost got into some trouble.
No. Ray came out with it. Then Drake liked it. AJ Terrell liked it.
Yeah.
It's about 4 players that like that.
We were doomed from the start.
Drake said, "Hey, I just run the plays." Drake said, "I just run the plays."
We were doomed from the start of the season, y'all.
I mean,
so lastly, we getting ready to shut this thing down or whatnot. Because we've been on this thing for 2 hours. I'm definitely
we've been going.
Gotta get ready for the work.
It's been a good show.
Yeah, man, I gotta get up early. I gotta get up early too. I'm stuck.
That's getting ready to happen now. Because it's probably, like I said, we got a regular show on Thursday, but we got some other stuff. I know I'm gonna do a bumper to bumper for you guys early in the morning.
Appreciate that. I need that.
And it's been a while, but it's been a lot going on, so that's the reason y'all.
We know about the behind the scenes. Yeah, you got to tend to that, man.
Nah, we still dealing with that right now, but I'll say this: this has been an pop-up show, pop-up party line. This is what we do when good news comes or bad news comes. Tonight it was good news, so now. I wouldn't say that.
Before you finish, can I say something?
What's up?
Come on, Coop.
I just want y'all to just fool and watch this. I got the strange feeling Zach, whatever his name, the coordinator, and Raheem gonna be back with the Rams organization. It's because it seemed like he was more loyal to that organization to this one. I kind of felt funny when they played the Buccaneers game. He was stopped what he doing, came all the way to the TV set to kiss old boy, the old left tackle, and then run back. And then it seemed a lot of stuff when they were around Rams, it was like all this ex-Rams type stuff. It wasn't about Falcons, it's about him and his Rams buddies and all that stuff like that. So my last thing I say, whatever they do, they need to get people who all gonna be on one accord. From the front office, general manager, coach, they all gotta be working together and make decisions. And nobody gotta be the smartest guy in the room. Everybody got to listen and be open to hearing what everybody got to say. If it don't, it's gonna be the same old, whatever regime you bring in. Everybody got to get on.
Can I add to that?
I'm glad you said that.
No, I gotta shut this down because y'all keep adding, but we ain't gonna get the hell up out of here.
Nah, I ain't
you heard
nothing.
what Coach said. You heard what Coach just said. Now, Coach, you heard.
Yeah, I heard what. Hold on. Here's the thing. I ain't got the helmet and shoulder pads on no more. I'm paying the bills around here. Y'all better not stop me tonight. y'all.
I ain't mean to start no mess, y'all. Forgive me.
I ain't saying nothing, man. You got it.
I gave you no reprieve on that. You better stop stirring up the pot right now. I told you what I'm getting ready to start doing.
I'm gonna stir it up some more.
Listen, we about to start having what we call bow your head segment in a minute. Start putting people off the screen. Y'all better stop playing.
Hey.
I'm done. I ain't gonna say nothing else.
So I'm gonna take me one more sip, and I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. And I'm gonna stir some more mess up. I'm telling you. I'm
gonna say this because we got to shut this thing down, man. We've been on.
Bring back Cam Newton, and I said it. Let's go,
man. Please
trade for Shador.
Hey, this is all we'll say. In this situation, you remember this. Joe Burrow wants to leave Cincinnati. Atlanta was listed as one of the places that he could possibly fall to. He's tired of there. Now, depending on who we get as you shake your head. Depending on who we get as a head coach, if he want to leave, just know Jamar Chase gonna be right behind him if he leave. Yeah, understand that.
Well, no, they were talking about T. They were talking about T. Higgins today.
I know, That's what pandemic. This is what I'm trying to tell you. We already got an established offense. We just need a few more pieces. And depending on who becomes a head coach, I'm just putting a little bug out there before we shut this down.
Yeah.
Keep that in the back of your mind, because Joe Burrow actually had positive things to say about Atlanta as a place when it came to this team. So I'm just saying, just
get rid of Rich McKay.
If you get rid of Rich McKay at this point,
one thing I'm gonna say to that, Ryan. One thing I'm gonna say to that, Ryan. There goes my last statement. You can bring in all the talent in the world, but if you don't have a man that coaches it, like we just proved this year, it still won't do nothing.
Facts. Larry, tell the folks where they can find you at.
Man, appreciate you having me on the platform as always, brother. Guys, make sure you hit that like button for this great content. Already did the party line earlier today. Then just threw on another 2 great hours. You know what I'm saying, for your enjoyment. So make sure you hit the like button before you get out, man. You can find me on the Dixon Way, man. Me and the beautiful Shonda do live commentary for all these games. No more Falcons football this season, but tomorrow we will have the Falcon in review, the year review at 5:30. And yeah, now we concentrating on Atlanta Hawks until spring training. Debating if I'm going to do the playoffs or not. I don't know. I'm still kind of salty about college football and NFL right now.
Don't do it, Larry. We you wasn't in here, and see, we got a Miami fan up in here.
I know, pandemic. Shut up, Carson Beck trash.
See, look. See, we about to go. Look, see,
Carson Beck still trash.
I ain't trying to bow his head, but he gonna get his head bow. He said the wrong thing.
No, he asked me on my stream talking about you should do the Miami. You should do the Miami.
No. Listen, there's no such thing as humble with Miami. It will never be there. Them brothers, listen.
You know what?
Ain't no such
humble is not pronounced.
You know what? You are right. Sorry about that.
Silent. Exactly.
Man, bow your head. I'm gonna bring him back up, but he got to sit for a second. See that right? See,
my bad. I brought it up.
That's the bow your head policy right there.
No, man.
As long as you bring back the red helmet. No, I'm gonna bring. No, here's the thing. I'm always gonna bring you back. But I'm gonna throw you out the house like Uncle Phil used to do jazz back in the day on Fresh Prince. Head first.
No, man. Thank you for always having me on the platform, man. You know.
Hey man, well, I appreciate you letting me.
I'm glad we got this good news. Now I'm waiting for Rich McKay to get fired.
They say it's a possibility that it's gonna happen. They've already said it.
Maybe they're saving that for Black Monday. And why I got to be Black Monday? But anyway, all right.
You're burying them. You're burying them. You're black and you're burying somebody.
Hey man, Larry, appreciate you, big bro.
As long as the next GM brings some red helmets and silver britches back.
There you go. Red helmet got to come back, baby. Red helmet got to come back for the red helmet.
I know it's time to go. When my StreamYard start freezing at this point of the night, yeah, it's time to go.
Shoot. Hey, man, good night, man. It's been a good show, man.
Thank you, sir.
All the Falcon fans out there, we're going to get us a coach. Be patient, though.
Yes,
Coach, thank you, Coach. Thank you for coming in.
God bless y'all. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year to all the watchers and listeners.
Pandemic.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You at, sir? So we can
look,
you up out of here.
Yeah, it may be the end of the season. I said this earlier. It may be the end of the season, but if we just getting started with some great content, guys. Yes, Falcon fans in the chat, Falcon fans who's watching, man, y'all stay tuned, stay subscribed, so y'all can get all this breakdown of what's going on with his coaching staff, what's going on with the big move that's being made. Trust me, guys, it's going to stay lit throughout the all season as well. So stay tuned on YouTube. Follow me. Follow all the great content creators that are putting out great content, guys. We got a lot to talk about still. So let's get into it. Let's keep this thing lit. It's Falcon Nation around here. Let's go. Hey, find us on YouTube, guys. Thank you for having me, Larry. I appreciate it. Not Larry. I'm sorry about that. Ryan, I appreciate it once again, brother.
Hey, man, you know you always welcome in this house, bro. You just going to get thrown out when you get stupid with it. All right, David. K-Dub, thank you for popping in. I know you had to drive home. It was a pleasant one, but I appreciate you for standing in the paint tonight. It's a little late, so we going to go ahead and call it a night, man. Appreciate you, my boy.
For sure, man. Hey, look, we'll be back at it again.
Yes, sir. Hey, man. So sorry about the screen, Falcon fans. My stuff started freezing, but you know what? We're gonna go ahead and end this thing right. This is the Party Line Lounge, man. You check us out Thursday at 8 p.m. We're gonna have more to talk about this, but we're also gonna have a bumper to bumper, possibly either tomorrow or Tuesday. Y'all tap in. This your boy, the historian. I'm out. Ghost.